Let's go.
Welcome everybody to the D session. God damn. God damn it. A new segment that we doing with special guests. This one shot is very special because it's going to be something that we're going to shoot off the cuff most of the time. A lot of buffoonery, fuckery, and all of the above. I'm here with the man of the hour, the special guest, the one we created the one shot for, Damian.
Damian Alpizar here. Actually, I've been on this a number of times now, so I'm learning D&D as we go. I got dragged. I was seen. I was shown D&D, and now all of a sudden I'm hooked. I'm a noob, trying to learn everything that I can. I'm absorbing. I'm like a drug addict who just got a new drug. It is my thing right now, and I'm trying to not dive in so far so fast.
But he's already dived in really
It's
fast.
too late.
Head
It's
first,
too late.
without even looking what's at the bottom.
Man, you don't care how deep it is. You just dived.
Still going to hold my breath. Good thing is that I have a character that can dive pretty deep, so that's all good.
This is true. And how's it going, everybody? It's already 13, and I'm going to be the DM for this little mini adventure. Less of a one-shot mini adventure because it doesn't technically have an ending per se. But anyways, so we ran a session 0 with Damian already, which is already aired on YouTube. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check that out. We'll link it up above so we can make sure you can click over to it. So Damian, real quick for those that haven't watched it, give a quick rundown of your character again, real quick for me.
So Karab is a half sea elf, half, I guess you could say human. He doesn't know his father's. He doesn't know anything about his father. He was raised on the island with his mother, and unfortunately, because of his heritage and the way he appears, he was not very liked on his home world and his island. And unfortunately, due to a series of unfortunate events, mostly to 3 teenagers who were bullying him, Karab was forced to leave the island and leave his mother and leave everything he knew behind. So that was 6 years ago, and it was emotional. It was trying, but you grow from pain.
Yep. All right, now Jake. So this is the introduction. Give us a brief rundown of your character description, class, whatever you want to do, I guess.
So today I'm playing something I haven't played yet on this channel. It's a rogue tiefling, a mod. I don't have a backstory that deep. He's just a street rat that is loved by some people in the city he's from, hated by most. He's a thief, a country thief.
So I'll fill in a little bit more of your backstory overall real quick before we begin. So Amon itself, he's from a very rural city. He's gotten by with stealing, as most have when they don't really have much, and he helps out a lot of people in town. One thing as of right now is there's not as much trade. There's not as many noblemen kind of passing through the town anymore due to a general disturbance that's been going on. So he has moved on from his town in hopes of finding something better and way to still kind of give back while bringing himself and uplifting his own status, essentially. And that's kind of where it's going to lead into where we are here. So in Damon, in your session 0, we left off and you were kind of daydreaming and going in and out of this speech of this event that's been going on. And Amon, you are currently within the crowd as well. You guys aren't near each other, but you are both within the crowd viewing the same thing. Currently, you guys are in the starting city of Layment. Now, Layment itself was built up by bounty hunters for bounty hunters. It started as a very small area with mercenaries, men for hire, and then it evolved from there. Currently, you are all participating in what is basically recruitment day, which they call culling day. So they take a crop from the local area, they see who wants to join in, and this is where you are now. So you both have a clear line of sight to a main central stage. It's a elevated platform of stone. There's some nice etchworks in it, and it's the backdrop behind it is a large arch, which is, think of late Romanesque type architecture. So it has a lot of carvings of battles and scenes and individuals, and it has writings in it of every current known language across different banners going down. And standing in front of it on this podium is the main speaker, who is a wood elf woman. She has dark honey-colored skin, light orange hair, and she's currently addressing the entire crowd with 2 individuals behind her. One is a shorter, darker dwarf, and the other one is a slightly taller lizard folk. Kind of tune back in from your daydream there, and Amon, as you're kind of paying attention there, she begins her speech. Culling Day is always quite the eventful day. It is the day we test new recruits and see how well they fit for any of the houses to accept. These tests will strengthen your body, mind, and spirit, so be prepared, for some may not make it out. I look forward to evaluating each of you on your tests, and have a great day. And from there, both of you are kind of escorted from a few other mixture of races and kind of put into different groups. And this is where both Karib and Aman, you have been placed within the same group for your training, and this is your first meeting. So you're in a group of four currently. There are two others, both of them are human, and then there's you two.
Oh, how's everybody doing today?
Are you seriously talking right now, Tiefling?
Whoa! I'm just trying to see how everybody's doing. I'm a mod. I guess we're in the same group here. I guess we gotta get to know each other somewhat.
Listen, just stay out of my way, okay? You're gonna slow me down.
All right, there, buddy. I'll stay out of your way. And I start talking to the other humans.
Oh, perfect. So the two humans that are there, one is called Jason, the other one is called Todd. And they kind of look at first whenever you guys are having this interjection, they're just kind of like, this may not be a great fit. But Todd does eventually speak up. He is a fairer skinned, he has darker brown hair, a little bit of scruff going on. He's like, guys, I'm pretty sure they place us in groups for a reason. I don't know why you don't really like him. I mean, I can see why you may not like him.
Hi.
Shh, I'm on your side. I'm just trying to advocate. You look how you look.
Enough. I'm kind of getting
Okay.
offended there.
I'm on your side. Anyways, if we may have to work together at some point, are you gonna be okay with all of this? And he just gestures to Amon.
I still getting offended here.
I'll work with whoever. I mean, if you have any skills, then great. But honestly, I'm not really too keen about fiends. It's not my way.
Hey, I understand that my people got a bad stigma about them, but I'm just trying to be everybody's friend.
Look, I tried to be friends with people at one point. It didn't work out so well.
That's a lot to unpack in the first 2 minutes of meeting each other, but if you need somebody to talk to, I'm here. I'm here. And I put my hand on his shoulder. I'm here for you, buddy.
Get your hand off me.
All right.
This is where Jason's gonna step in. All right, guys. If you guys are fine working with each other, that's fine. If clearly he's not really feeling talking, so maybe we should just see what's going on. And at this point is when one of the general caretakers, which is another dwarf, kind of walks himself up to you, and he gestures you all to follow him. So you go through some of the streets. It's cobblestone streets. There are, again, it's very early Romanesque type architecture. There are some, just to kind of put it into context, some think of Greek inspired architectures with. So there are pillars with temple like structures, and where you are currently heading towards is what seems like a large coliseum. So they walk you through one of the side entrances, and he begins giving you the rundown. All right, so you lads are going to be going through the obstacle course. This course, I will damn well say, is very dangerous. Try your best not to get bloodied or died. I don't want to clean up the mess. It's a big hassle for me, ruins my day, ruins my drink. With that said, best of luck to you.
Do you got any more of that drink?
There'll be plenty of drink if you pass, lad.
I, I I'll hold you to it.
And so he gestures each of you to go ahead and take your place. And you walk into this large complex. There are roars upborn from the applause from the crowd, and you once again see that same woman up top. She's looking down, her head's nodding, but not really expressionless, just very intent on observing. And as you guys are looking around, you come through that dark tunnel and the sunlight's hitting you. You see out, and there is a vast obstacle course of there are blade contraptions, there are pits, there are walls. There's something behind a pillar you can't even see as of yet, but you can hear some noises and some screams from some other recruits going on right now. So it is intense, but everyone is in an uproar of joy, amusement, and shock. And it's at this point that the dwarf again speaks up. All right, lads, like I said, best of luck to you. You guys are going to start in 3, 2, 1. Get your fucking asses out there. And he goes in and rushes you guys out. And the first obstacle is going to be a straightaway. It's a straight dash, and there is a 20-foot wall. So from here, how do you guys want to try and tackle this course? We'll progress it one obstacle at a time, and then we'll go depending on how you want to try and do things. We'll go for the appropriate roles, and we'll just see how this goes.
I didn't even wait for them to make a decision. I took off immediately.
Okay.
Dashing.
Son of a bitch. I'm gonna start running, but I'm gonna keep up with the humans because I'm pretty sure they're not gonna be able to jump that 20-foot fucking wall by themselves. So I'm gonna just keep up with them for the most part and help them over the wall.
Okay. So it's at the moment the dwarf lowers his hand, Karib takes off down the straightway, bolting straight for this wall. In that moment, Amon, you're thinking, okay, he's got his own shit. I'm gonna stay with these guys. We're gonna help each other out. As you're processing this, Jason and Todd have already started sprinting. They're within 10 feet behind Karib currently, and that's when you notice shit, and you begin taking off as well. So you
Son
are
of a bitch!
effectively the last one. So Karib, you are coming up close to this wall itself. You can see random footholds. You can see different ways. How do you want to try and tackle this obstacle?
Random foothold. So I was I know I'm saying something. I was like, waiting for him. Okay, no, he's not gonna say anything. Wow, he's too far behind me. Got it. So immediately upon getting to the bottom of this wall, I look up and I just quickly glance to the left and right to make sure that I don't see anything there. I'd wait about, I want to say about 15 feet or 10 feet back from the wall. That way I could kind of survey upwards. And I look and I try to basically, I find a pattern where I could see a plot that would lead roughly up the wall with between grapples and footholds. So without even looking back, I don't care about them right now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start looking for that first foothold and grapple. And I'm just going to jump up about 5 feet and start, probably doing like one of those cat things where like legs and arms are catch at the same time. And I'm going to start pulling myself up.
Okay. Run me a quick perception check. Got a first dice roll of session 1.
That would be okay. So if it's this is confusing. So sorry. I guess the dot on the die next to the thing would that be a 6?
That's
a 6.
Yep.
6. So it's a 6, and then it's a perception.
Perception, yeah.
Do I do anything with that? Any modifiers or anything with that?
You have a +0 to your perception, so you got a 6.
So I got a 6.
So you see the beginning of 1, 2, 3 footholds going up, maybe about 15 feet of the way, but from there you don't really see much. You go in and start your action as far as jumping on and latching on. From there, go ahead and just do a straight athletics check. Let's see how well you do on this.
Well, that went out, but it landed at a 15.
15? Okay. So you're able to grab hold. You're still catching up, and you just see Khabib just start spider monkeying his way up about 15 feet up that wall.
God damn, that boy can climb really fucking fast.
And so the first one out of Jason and Todd to get to the thing is going to be Jason. So Jason is going to look at where your position is currently, Khabib. He's going to look. He's going to jump a little bit to the right side of you. He grabs onto one of the footholds he finds, and he actually thrusts himself up and does a little fancy flip, and he actually gets about 2 feet away from the top from where he's at before he kind of finishes little thing. Todd comes up next. He's gauging as he's running, still not stopping. He's looking up and he jumps and he just muscles on, and you can see that out of the two, Jason is very nimble, but Todd he's built, so he grabs on even places that one may not be able to grab on. He fingertips are locked in, and he climbs his way up, and he meets the same level you get to. Now, Amon, you're running up to this.
So I'm gonna look at everybody going up the damn wall. I'm like, God damn, I'm kind of far behind here. So I'm gonna jump as high as I can and try to grab on to catch up.
Okay, roll me strength check.
Where's the strength?
Actually, we'll do. You're just gonna do straight. You're just trying to straight up jump and see how high you can get.
I'm just gonna try to Superman that bitch
Okay.
and grab
Yeah.
onto the
Just.
wall.
So we'll do athletics then. We'll put his athletics set of strength.
Wish you would have said acrobatics, but
You didn't say you want to do nothing fancy, but
well, that's a 12.
so okay. So you almost like Saitama when he's prepping for his high jump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thrust yourself up, and you get you where you grab is right around where Kareeb's ankles are. You are able to find purchase there, and you with one additional pull, you and Kareeb are eye level right now.
Hi, buddy. How are you doing? I feel we're gonna be good friends.
Just shut up and climb.
Yes, Dean King, sir.
Now Kareeb is back up to your turn.
Well, my movement is about 30, and my jumping in the past was about 10. So from this particular position, having seen the human damn near leap past me, I was like, that's not happening. So Karib's gonna find a place that he can just like latch and put his foot on, and then try to do a chest pull upwards while lifting his feet, so he can try to grab up to him up to basically. Let's see, how far up do you think the wall I am right now?
So you made it about 15 feet.
15
The
feet.
wall. Yeah.
So
So
I
you have
could, I
another
could,
5 feet to clear.
I could just push and just almost like put my 5 feet. I'm damn near 6 feet tall. So all I have to do is like literally reach up, push this here, and I can just get up on top of the wall.
Yeah. So okay. So you just want to use. Do you want to expend your movement, or do you actually want to try and do something just fancy to showcase yourself?
First of all, I have to, at the top of the wall, I have to look personally. I have to already be at the top of the wall before everybody else. So I don't care about that. That's already the showcase. I need to now look down and do a perception check as to what's beyond this wall, because I'm pretty sure I couldn't see beyond it when I was running up to it.
So from where you're at, you can see to the side, and you can see kind of the ends of where one final obstacle is, and it looks to have some type of liquidy substance or some type of substance at the end of it. But that's really all you can gauge from right now, just because you are flat up against the wall that's like this. So if you want to, you can use
I
the rest
want
of
to
your movement
move
to clear that
first
5 feet. Oh,
and then
gotcha. Okay.
survey. Because like I said, I move. I'm already a trophy. Now I want to survey.
Okay.
That's what I want to do.
So you expend 5 feet of your movement just to get to the top of this, which is easy enough. As you get up top, I'm not even gonna have you roll a perception because you can see everything from here. Up ahead, you see some swinging blades. You see a bar, basically a balance bar over some type of dark pit. You can't really see what's in the pit itself. Beyond that, curving around, you do see some figures that are basically running at these standing still figures, and some of them are getting past, some of them are getting knocked off. So you're not really sure what that is about yet. And then there is another what appears to be some type of climbing contraption, and then that liquid pit that you saw before.
All right. Cool. So
And then, oh, I'm sorry. And then beneath you, there is there's just some padded ground overall. So there's still the back of the wall where you can climb down, and then there's that padded ground.
all right. Well, already having surveyed the area and knowing that the blades are up next, I take a few seconds to just kind of count whatever swing pattern they may have, and try to absorb it, just get a little bit of feel for it. I'm feeling the people coming up behind me. I'm not even going to let them touch me, so I'm just going to just front flip down and just superhero land on the other side of that wall and move towards.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to get out of my head. I need you to get out of my head.
Okay, so we're gonna do two things. First, now we are gonna roll a perception check because you're trying to gauge the timing of those blades from here.
Make sure this is my D14 plus what do I got in perception here? I really got to learn how to read this chart. Wisdom, intelligence, concentration, passive wisdom and perception is 10.
So that just means like when you're walking around, if you're not really looking,
I have a
active
plus
looking, you
0.
should see your skills. Yeah.
Right. I have a
So
plus
you rolled a what?
14.
14. Okay. So you do get the timing of the first and second blade, but the third and fourth, the way that the movements were of the crossing blades, you're still unsure. The first two blades, you are pretty confident you can get past those without any issue.
Okay. So I basically want to take my movement all the way up to the front of the blades, just in front. I want to be able to stop at the blades.
So the second thing we're going to do, since you want to do a little fancy footwork flip, roll acrobatics for me.
Again, 14, and then my acrobatics is a +3, so 17.
So which superhero do you want to do a 3-point landing as?
I
Do you
want
want
a
to look like
Spider-Man
Iron
land.
Man?
I want
You
a
want
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man in?
I
Okay.
want to be like, you know what I mean, with one
The
arm.
little hug the McNuggets while doing the little Michael Jackson flare.
Yep.
Oh,
I want a
gotcha. Okay.
Spider-Man landing because I'm a long, thin, I'm muscular, but I mean my elven look in a Spider-Man pose. Yeah.
Gotcha. So Amon, as you're looking up, you see Crib there just for a moment, just standing there, and kind of the sun hitting him, and then next thing you know, he just flips, and it for a moment, from what you catch from still hanging on that wall, it's pretty majestic. You don't know what happened down below, but Damon, the crowd sees you do this flip, and they lose their minds. They're like, ah! They don't know your name, but they are shouting because it was pretty cool, damn cool thing you did.
This little son bitch is trying to outshine me.
And then you make it the rest of your way. You get about 5 feet before the actual next obstacle comes into play. From here, Jason is going to use his same movement. He's actually not going to do any fancy flip like you did, seeing what you did. He is actually going to sweet. He's going to go ahead and scale the other side of the wall. So he's going to step off the wall, and while keeping one hand and foot on it, he's going to just keep contact with the wall the whole way down, and at the last moment push off into a roll to continue his movement.
Nice.
All right. Practical.
Todd goes up, uses his movement, and he is not as confident as he knows he's got strength, but he's not as finessey. So he climbs his way down. But he makes it down to the padding as well. He doesn't get any further movement. He's at the bottom of the wall. And Amon, you're the last one on that wall now.
I want to basically, from my side, throw myself over the wall to stick a landing. I'm like, you're not gonna outdo me today.
All right, athletics.
Come on, Jesus, help me. 20.
Ooh.
Was it nat 20?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you muster what's in your whole body. You tighten it, and almost like a spring that's about to recoil, you just launch yourself
My
up.
butt cheeks are going.
Them gluteus maximuses, they just flex it, and you clear the wall, and you're up there, and you're like, wow. And the crowd is losing it because for a moment it looks like you're flying, and then you realize that you got to come down. So you start falling.
Hold on. But while I'm up in the air for that split moment, I'm like, hi, career.
And then now we're gonna roll a dexterity saving check for me.
God damn it. 19. And I don't know what's my saving on that, but I'm sure.
Let's see. For your dex, you get a
Dexterity.
+5.
Well, goddamn.
So yeah,
I saved.
So the way down, you freak out for a moment, then you're like, wait a second, and you do this almost barrel spin into a front flip, and Iron Man land. So you just plow into the ground, and Kadib, you can hear this loud from behind you, and you kind of glance over your shoulder, and you just see this little dust kind of dissipating as Amon is just there and slowly kind of glances up from this Iron Man landing pose, and then he moves an additional.
I got 30.
Yeah, so you catch up to. Actually, you go past Kirby. You are face to face with the next obstacle.
And can I see how the timing of the blades?
Yeah, run a perception.
Hold on. By the way, when he lands, I look back over my shoulder, and he gives me that look, and I just think to myself, still last. And then as he goes past me, I'm thinking to myself.
You seen that I rolled, correct?
Yeah.
I put up my hands. It landed, and it's a 20. And I got +5 for perception.
Okay.
Nice.
So you are able to gauge the exact timing of all 4 blades. So on your next turn, you can spend your movement and your action if you want to dash through all 4.
That's the second nat 20 that I rolled. Watch, whenever we get into a fight, I'm not going to roll shit.
the law of the dice. And so with that, you see, could it you watch as Amon just passes you, and he kind of looks at the blades a little bit, and you can see you can just kind of get a sense that he might know some shit. And with that is effectively your turn again.
Um, what skill would I need to have a better understanding by looking at him and his body language that he probably knows this?
That's gonna be an insight.
Insight. Well, I have a +0 in insight. So I'm gonna try that first.
Take the test.
Roll the die.
That's a 5, so I still have no idea what the hell this guy's doing.
So you look at him, and what you're trying to figure him out, but for some reason, he has a really firm ass, and it catches you off guard.
For 1 second, I'm thinking I should kick that firm ass right into the blade. Okay, so you know what though? Screw that. You know what? I'm. Where do you look at your perception? I'm looking.
It's gonna be under your
There it
skills.
is. Damn it! I have a 0 on that too. I can't perceive shit. All right. I want to perceive the blades and see if I can figure out that pattern before I move.
Okay, so you can run another perception check. It is going to be, since you already tried perceiving it before, this next check is going to be set as a little bit harder one than before.
Okay.
All right, so you can still roll it, and I'll just give me what your total is.
Well, let me ask you another question before I commit to that move. How much space are between the blades?
From the first two blades you saw, there's roughly about a 8-foot distance between each blade that you can actually.
Oh,
move
screw
through.
that.
It's not like you're like ha ha ha. It's
Right. I know the pattern of the first two blades. Actually, I want to move through the first two blades and stop after the second blade, after I pass the second blade.
okay. So Amon, you watch his crib just kind of passes you, and as he's walking towards the blade, you're like, man, this guy's about to get got. And as the first blade comes, Amon just almost instinctually, or I'm sorry, Kadib almost instinctually, like he knows it's gonna happen, just gracefully takes one step to a side, and the blade just misses him, almost like he's having a dance with this blade. He just moves through the first two and pauses at the third one.
By the way, at my pause, I want to look back over my shoulder again at Amon and just kind of give him a little stare like, come on.
Okay.
I feel we're gonna be real good friends the way he keeps egging me on.
And so when after you clear the second one, is that when you wanted to try and perceive the timing of the next two, or did you just want to forego that completely?
No, I'm going to wait right here.
Okay. So Amon, you definitely do catch that little bring it bitch attitude that's coming off of Crib. But from then Jason goes ahead and he catches up to you there, and you can tell he's kind of looking, but he's not so much as a thinker, because he takes literally less than a second before he just dashes through.
God damn it, this boy gonna die.
And you watch as he almost gets clipped by the first one, but at the last moment does a spin, rolls out through the second, and launches himself through the third and fourth. And he has cleared that second obstacle.
God damn.
Todd comes up next. And you watch as he runs through, and he makes it past the first one. And he's coming through, and he's about to clear the second one. And that axe, that blade, swinging blade, comes through, and he makes it past, all except his left arm. And the blade gets him right at the socket between the elbow, and you do get a little splat of blood, but his arm flies through the arena a little bit, and you hear the crowd lose their shit over seeing the first sign of blood within this group, and he screams in pain, drops to his knees, and is holding his arm. It is your turn.
Okay. So I know the pattern of the fucking blade, so I'm not worried about it. Where's the arm?
Oh, it went, so where you guys are, it flew with the momentum of the blade away from where you guys are on the obstacle.
God damn. Now, what would I have to roll to go through the obstacle, pick up the guy with the Todd or Jason, and finish the obstacle?
So if you want to grab Todd, that's going to be a strength check, just to make sure you can actually pick him up and run still, and that is going to impede your timing of the blades that you know. So you would have to run an additional check against the blades when you're trying to run through with him.
Okay, so I'm gonna make it through the first two, stop where Todd is, and I'm gonna pick him up and try to push him through. I'm trying to be a good teammate.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity check with disadvantage.
Mother bitch. 13 on the first one, and a 3 on the second one.
And your
My dex
is a +5. So you got a total of 8. Okay. So I will allow you. So the blade, you're making it through, you grab Todd and you're like, all right, I got this. You go to make that first move and you didn't really realize that his blood was pooling pretty heavily under him and your boot slips. As you go through, you don't make it all the way through past that blade and you see it coming down. You have a few options. You can drop Todd and save yourself. You can throw Todd towards the blade and hopefully not allow it to hurt you as much. Or you can attempt to go backwards or forwards with the both of you still in hopes of trying to get past.
I'm gonna lunge forward.
Lunge
Always
forward
lunge forward. With him.
with him? Okay. Roll me another dex at disadvantage again.
18 on the first one, 11 on the second one, so 16.
16? Okay. Roll me just one additional d20, please.
19.
19? Okay. So you see that and still using that momentum of you slipping, instead of just trying to jump additionally further, you allow that momentum to carry you and you roll out with it with Todd. And right at that last moment, you feel that Todd didn't quite roll with you. He actually ended up slumping down and hitting the ground, and that blade is coming to him. And you're able to lurch your arm and kind of extending your shoulder a bit to pull him forward, and the blade barely misses him, which could have been a pretty bad hit. But both of you do make it past that third blade, and that's where you guys have stopped.
Hey
And
there, little
again,
buddy.
the crowd is going nuts. They're signing
Hey,
up
little
lines,
buddy, we're gonna get through
have
this.
all kinds of stuff. So the crowd is losing their mind there, and it's the energy is just very heavy and uplifting. And Karev, it's your turn again.
So I watch all this unfold in front of me. I watch the first brute stumble his way luckily through. I watch the second guy fail miserably, and I watch this fiend-looking dude practically throw away his life for someone he barely knows. But I've had a chance to see the blades, and their pattern has pretty much stayed the same. Do I need to run a perceptive to see that? Yeah, I know these blades by now.
You can, yeah, you would want to run an additional one for the actually for the last blade you wouldn't need to because you got past the first two. There's only two more from standing there. Even though you're kind of watching what's happened, you were watching Jason as he went through, and you got a gist of it. So you wouldn't have to run a perception if you don't want to.
I was like, okay, cool, because my passive was 10. Anything I roll is going to probably be like enough. But okay. All right, so I want to go ahead and move forward. I want to move to Anan, and I'm gonna, as I move towards him, I watch the two blades. I'm not even using energy right now. I'm just literally like step, walk, win, two, step, walk, and I just kind of stroll up to him. I watch as the other human is wasting energy moving forward. He's just brute strength anyways. And I walk up to Anan, who's on the floor with this bleeding partner in his arms. And I just look at him for a second and I say, foolish move for someone you don't know.
But if we leave him here, that's one teammate that we can't use later. I say it with with a deeper voice until I won't leave him behind.
The obstacle was not that we all survive, just that we have to individually make it through. This is not a team effort. This is simply survival. You need to learn that before you get through this.
Yeah, and it's a better survival if there's all of us there.
Whatever. I'm going to now take off and head towards that second obstacle to catch up with who's up? Todd.
Jason's up top.
Jason.
Jason's the one that made it through, and he's past it completely. So just kind of like point of order, where Amon and Todd had landed was at basically the next stage, right before the third blade contraption. So they were there with you already, kind of for the most part. So you basically had that conversation before progressing forward.
Got it. Sorry, forgot they were still stuck behind a blade. Stupid.
So you do catch up with Jason. You move past Jason as he is looking back and seeing his as far as whatever relationship you guys understand they have. You see him kind of look back, and he is uh, visibly disturbed by seeing Todd in that state. But with that,
Friend's bleeding.
it is Jason's turn.
That's all I say is I pass him.
And so Jason's going to go ahead and he's going to run back. He's going to attempt to run back and help out. Or I'm sorry, he's going to run back and help Todd. And so he goes to make it through. And just from his body reaction being focused on Todd, he completely doesn't even regard the timing of the blade. And the first blade trap that he tries to run back through clips him square in the side. And you watch as it just impales him. And he is strung up on this blade trap, and it's instant dead. You know, just from the sound that it left out of his body when he goes, he's done. And that's when Todd lets out another shriek again. You see his face just in morale just completely drop.
We gotta keep going for your friend. I know it's a shitty situation we're in, but you can't let his death be in vain. We gotta keep moving. When I say go, we're going to go. You gotta focus on the mission. Don't let his death be in vain.
And so Todd at this point is really crying. Goes, I'll follow your lead. Just go. And so he's going to hold his action until you do your turn. So he will essentially help you get through the rest of the trap that way you're not pulling dead weight.
Ooh. So is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn. He's
all right. So
my turn.
Now, is there a way of going through and actually getting the body back?
I mean,
so
you want to help Todd while grabbing the other body?
I feel like
allow it. I got this. Okay.
I feel like my guy will want to get him to bury him.
Okay. So go ahead, and as you're making your way through the trap, so we'll say in that moment you did as well gauge, because with your passive you would gauge the simple timing of this as well, seeing more people go through and seeing Jason's mistake, you now know how you need to get through. I will say that as you're making it through, roll a strength check to see if you can grab and grab onto the body.
He wanted the arm at first. Now he wants the body.
Now, question: where on this body are you attempting to grab as you're running past, or as the blade is
I
going?
want to say the upper torso.
Okay.
I guess because I feel like if I yank that, the rest of it's gonna come.
Well, I don't. I would give you advice, but Carib is just nowhere near you to even give you the advice.
Jesus.
What'd you get, buddy?
4. That's with the plus.
4. Okay. So the crowd is losing it because they've seen blood, they've seen a near death, then they watch death happen, and then they see Amon helping Todd progress through. And actually, Todd is going to go and help out on this as well as far as progressing, and so he's going to help you get through the trap. And as you're passing through, you reach back and attempt to grab onto the body as the blade is back in a motion to where you can just pull it off instead of having it to go against it. As you do so, you go to grab, and as you grab, the blade ends up, you get the body off, but in that moment, because you yanked and pulled in such a way, you release your grip on Todd, and that backswing from the blade smacks Todd.
God damn it!
And he is a bloody splatter across the Coliseum. You can't even make up the top part of his body anymore. You see where the legs were, you see where torso and blood and remains ended, but you have saved the other body.
So the other body's just on the ground, dead too.
The other body's in your hands.
So I got both bodies.
Yeah. So you have the legs of the other one next to you while you're holding the body of the first one.
You have
so
two halves of the body. If you bury them together, you got to hold them.
This is what I say. God damn it! What am I gonna do here? I try. You know what?
This is how centaurs are made. You have a bottom of one with the full of another.
We're gonna mismatch this one here. You're both gonna rest together here because both of you were idiots. As I put one half to the other, like you're gonna fit.
So at first the crowd was jeering and going at it, and then they see you playing witch doctor and wannabe necromancer, and that whole kind of attitude, as far as in the Coliseum, kind of goes into a booing state at you heavily, but you have saved the other body.
All right. I'm just gonna put them to the side because I don't. I'm just gonna go. You know what? God damn it! And I keep going.
All right, so I would say you can spend another 10 feet of your movement to progress through. You're still about another 10 feet from the next activity itself. Now, Kadib, it is back to your turn, and you are standing in front of the next obstacle, which is a balance beam, and it's over that dark pit that you couldn't quite see into before, and it still is, even from this close, and even with your elf vision, it is still unusually dark in that hole. But you are free to go and take your turn.
Don't look down.
Is there any gravel or anything on this platform that I might be able to use to take and kind of toss it into the darkness?
So yeah, so it being a coliseum, it's a giant dirt floor. So there you can grab a handful and toss it. You just want to toss it into the pit.
I just want to toss something into the pit and see if anything stirs or moves, or if I hear anything like a floor or anything.
Okay. So you're gonna want to. Okay. So since we're throwing it, do an investigation check for me.
An investigation check.
This one's new. You haven't had to do one of these yet.
Yeah,
We're gonna use all your skills.
that's a 12 plus 4, so 16.
Okay, so 16. Okay, so you go and toss that, and using your natural hearing that you have, you're sitting there focusing, trying to gauge how far it is from the sound that you get back, and there's nothing.
Well, I've dealt with one of those before, and so I'm going to go ahead and how far is this beam? Is it about how long is it?
The beam itself is about 50 feet across.
50 feet. Since I already used one of my perceptions, I can't check the beam to see if it's a rotating beam. Is it a firm beam? Is it a round beam? Can you describe that?
So it does appear to be a wooden beam. It is squarish in design, but as far as from kind of, since you're focusing there, you can't really tell if it's anything that rotates or moves. But it is a squarish wooden
Pretty straight line from my
Yeah.
point of view. Okay, so then I'm going to nimbly start to walk, kind of catwalk across it. And how far is it?
It's 50 feet long.
50 feet. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get straight to the middle of it because I have 30 movement, right? So I'm going to go exactly 25. I want to get exactly pinpoint middle.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity saving throw, please. And I'm sorry, I should ask, were you saying you were going cautiously, or were you just doing like a walk?
This is a tightrope. You know what I mean? I'm going to,
Okay.
hands out, one foot in front of the other, just making sure that everything's balanced. It doesn't have to be, it's not at a fast pace because tightrope is kind of at a steady walk. There's no reason to race across this piece.
Okay. So yeah, so go ahead and
there's only one person left, and he's wasting his time saving dead bodies. So I'm not really too worried about him catching up.
he's saving dead bodies and making more. He's essentially getting a collection at this point.
He's playing Raggedy Ann and back there. So
all right, so yeah, go ahead and do your dexterity saving throw for me on this beam.
that's an 11 plus. Do I have any? Where's my dex?
So you'll see
Plus
a saving throws. So no, it's a +3 for your dex.
+3. Where's? Okay, yeah, I see. Dex +3.
And so you wrote an 11 +3?
14.
Okay. So the moment you step foot and start going over the crevice, you take on your pose to go and get balanced, and the moment your foot touches and your pivoting foot in the back lifts off the ground, there is an immense pressure that you feel pressed down on you, almost as if it's pulling down from underneath. And even though you have that capability of moving, for some reason you're only able to make it 10 feet across this beam. And as you continue going across it, the more you get through, the heavier of this pressure you feel pulling down on you.
Gotcha. So it's like gravity or something just pulling down. Okay. So did I lose my movement, or do I have some movement left? Or can I do anything else at this point?
So based on the pressure feeling, that is your full move. You're able to get 10 feet successfully across this beam. You do have your balance. So even though that pressure hit you, it didn't make you waver or potentially cause you to lose. You kept your balance and you were able to push through for that 10 feet.
Okay.
And then with that, we're back at Amon, since Jason Todd is dead.
So I'm just gonna leave the body
again.
Fuck you guys. And I'm gonna go up to the beam now. You just kind of tight-roped it, right?
Yeah.
Can I stealthily go through it?
Explain to me how you would stealth across that beam.
No, I'm trying to figure out a way of getting through this.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, paint me a picture with your words, Jay.
so as I see him going through the beam, I'm kind of gingerly going behind him without him knowing.
So you're going behind Karib?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do a stealth
Okay.
check, and then we're going to do a dexterity save.
So stealth is a 14 plus 7, and saving throw, just a regular saving throw. That dexterity.
Yeah, it's a dex save.
Yeah. 17 plus 5.
17. Okay. So none the wiser, you are able to get onto the same beam very agilely, very quietly, and Karib seems to be focusing on maintaining his balance and whatever you saw kind of affect him. He's really focusing on making sure that he's staying on this beam, and you're kind of looking at him like, "What a fucking idiot! Why don't you go further?" And the moment your foot hits that beam and you start going after, you feel that same pressure as well, but it doesn't seem to affect you as much. You're able to kind of shrug it off to an extent to where you can move about up to where he is. So you can effectively get behind him, and then that's where you would be.
Is it me or something's pulling us?
I look around quickly, like, the hell is this dude doing behind me? but I'm more like this. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? I can't really turn my head fully because this thing's pushing on me. But I'm like, this dude again.
Hi, buddy. It's just me and you.
Yeah, there was no one there before, and you just hear that voice behind you. Not even just far away, immediately behind you.
Like creepy, give me goosebumps down my neck, kind of behind me.
Yes, buddy.
I can just feel his breath like right here, and I'm just like, fuck, not this dude. I would prefer the two humans right now.
Well, too bad they're dead.
Honestly, they're probably dead because of you. Think about it.
Are they? I helped one through the obstacle. The other one was through it and decided to come back.
You helped one through. You should have just left him die, and then the other one would have probably had a chance.
Why?
We wouldn't have gone back for his dead friend, unlike you who went back for a dead body. And what did you end up with? Nothing. Now shut up.
I didn't go back for a dead body. The dead body was in the way to the outs. I was going through, and it was coming.
Gosh, do you ever shut up? We have to get through this. At least I.
Oh, for a minute you said we.
All right, Karib, it's your turn.
I'm chipping away that damn armor. I'm chipping it away.
I realize that this right here, this motion with the arms out, is actually causing more gravity on the sides, and I'm dealing with extra balance. So I want to basically ball up and get down on fours, and now start to crawl on all fours across the beam. So even if the gravity is there, my center in my torso is basically above the beam. So it even at a closer proximity to it, I'm less likely to be just like tilted off by the gravity on both sides.
Okay. So we'll do another dexterity check this time instead of a save.
That's a 15 plus.
So that's gonna be
3 plus
plus
3, 18. Oh no.
For your check, you get a +1. For your saves, you get the +3.
Oh, okay. So +1.
So she got a 16 total?
16 total, yeah.
Okay. So him being there is still kind of just, even though you've had that conversation, him creeping up like that is still kind of like, shit, what else can this guy do? But you go ahead and focus your center of gravity, and you still feel that pressure, but as you get lower, it does lessen a bit, but it's still there. And you are effectively able to go and use your full movement, that full 30 feet. And so you are at 10. So you have 10 more feet to cross on your next turn there. And then that leaves you, Amon.
I'm gonna keep going.
Keep going. Just, are you gonna walk across? You're gonna imitate him? How you gonna cross?
Sure, I'll imitate him. Why not?
Okay. So go ahead and do a dexterity check. Go on crawl across.
I shit you not. I'm gonna get fucked up during the fights. I rolled a d20, and it was a nat 20. I'm going to get fucked up in the fights. I'm telling you now, so it's not being a surprise when I die later. Fucking A.
Suspicious, but okay.
Don't die on my first campaign,
I
bro.
shit you not. There's no reason to lie here.
To be honest, you know what? I mean, with the other two that are dead, maybe a little foreshadowing.
I would re-roll if you want me to.
It's fine. So, kind of imitating him, you're like, huh, okay. And almost as if you were like a squirrel on the edge of a freaking fence. You just, without any trouble. And again, you are right up against Kadip, and you're just,
Hey, buddy. You were moving fast.
He's speaking to my ass.
Just don't fart. I don't need pink eye.
God, if I had some gas right now, I swear I should have taken a different blood curse. Oh, man.
all right, Kadip, it's your turn again.
I would just blood curse myself with that whole gas and farted him right off this motherfucker. I almost wanted to use my blood curse to have the dead body flick him off. It was swinging by, but
God damn.
Let me save that for later.
That might be great. Best.
The thoughts that go through my brain on you, man. What am I? I'm getting ready to roll. I have no idea. I'm not rolling anything. I just want to roll right now. I just want to get away from him.
He's like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna jack off a ghost. So go ahead and make your final dexterity check to clear this.
Yeah, I got to move out of here. Ooh, that's not good. That's a 4 plus 3, 7.
4. So 4 plus 1, 5.
Oh, save 1, 5.
So you go to continue with your movement, and that pressure, either it's from the stress that this guy keeps creeping up to you right again, as if he's just stuck to you, and trying to progress forward, your body kind of locks up, and that pressure does not allow you to move. You are stuck in that position.
Okay.
So you gain no footage there. All right, and Amon, it's your go.
So I'm just gonna.
Karib itself, he was not able to move, so he is still in front of you. If you want to get past him, you will have to attempt to navigate around him in some way, shape, or form, or continue to wait it out and hope that he's able to move on his next go.
And so, would it be possible for me to go underneath, and since I have fucking claws on my hands and my feet, just...
So understand that it's less of claws, and you have the same human hands. You can have little sharper nails, but they're not claws per se. But if you wish to do that, absolutely. So you wanna rotate your body weight to hang from this beam and
but
crawl.
Wouldn't the beam
pushing down?
Wouldn't the beam kind of not allow that to be pushing me? Gravity to be pushing me because it's something barricading it.
You don't know what source is applying this effect. You just know that you're able to progress through the beam, but you don't know what's causing it. So you wouldn't have a clear.
Okay, so what if I just keep going ahead and push him forward?
You're gonna push me by my ass?
Put my whole fist in your ass. Just come on.
Okay, so 3 things in play here. First, both of you give me a dex check. Karib, you're gonna do it at disadvantage. So roll 2 d20s and give me the lowest.
Is my dex check? Is my dex check to make sure that his hand doesn't go up my butt?
Yes.
It's to make sure that his push doesn't throw you off that beam. And actually, this would be a save, not a check. I'm sorry for you.
Mine was a 13.
So you got a 13 for your check.
19 for the first one and a 14 for the second one. So
14.
Plus,
okay. 17 total for Karib. So, and then you got a what, Jay?
Right there. Duh. Okay.
I got a 13.
13 total?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because mine is a check, not a save.
Okay. Now roll me a strength check, please.
19.
19. Okay. So Karib, you feel this fist just slams straight between your cheeks. And that hit pushes you to the edge of the beam, right where it's going to go and cut off, so that pressure lessens. You almost lose some of your grip on everything happening there, but you manage to maintain it, thankfully, based on where your center of gravity was located originally. Now, Amon, with that push, you still keep your center of gravity as well. You haven't moved from the beam, but that pressure itself from that activity is weighing down on you. So you're able to go and clear an additional 10 feet, but you are 5 feet back from the edge where Karib currently is.
Ah, son of a bitch!
He basically forbidden, was it the
Jitsu.
1,000 years of death?
Yes.
You devil horn son of a bitch just punched me in my ass! What the hell's wrong with you?
Did you die, though?
Ah, fuck. Ah.
Next time I'll spit on my fist and lube it up for you.
Shut up, you. Don't you dare. Ah, what are you doing just squatting there now? Get across already.
I will in a second. Just give me a second. I just fished your ass. I need a second to regroup. That was a lot of work.
He's a one and done kind of guy, you know?
I need a second to regroup on my side. That was a lot of work.
With that, Karib, you have made it to the edge, both of your own volition and against your will. How do you want to proceed from here?
First, I'm rubbing my ass because I feel violated right now. And the other thing is that, I mean, I see that he's stuck there, and I'm kind of mixed emotions right now because that thing really had me worried for a moment there. But you know what? He's a fool, and he just punched me in my ass. And if I stay here, I'm probably gonna push him over. So I'm just gonna move on forward. I'm just gonna look at him one more time and just like shake my head, like and then I'm just gonna move forward to the next obstacle.
Okay. So as you approach the next obstacle, there are 3 pathways, each leading to a different individual. One is a human of fairly built. The other is a dwarf, very stocky, large, crazy um, nest of a beard that's kind of like a brownish red. And the last one is a slender, almost elven kind of figure there. But that one is hooded. You can't really get too many details overall. But you have those 3 paths to choose on your next turn.
So it's my turn.
Yep, now it's your turn, Amon.
I'm gonna catch up to him, and I see the 3 choices. So, what you thinking? You want to go by yourself, or we
Well, no,
go
you still
together?
you gotta do your final. If you're gonna cross the beam, do your final dex check.
12.
12. Okay. So the pressure's there, but you managed to make it that last few feet to get across. With the pressure built, you have an additional 5 feet of movement left, so you can't make it all the way to crib, but you can see that same obstacle coming through with the same 3 pathways that you have available to you.
I yell it to him, anyways.
Go yelling.
So, what you thinking? Want to go together or by yourself? I got some chewing tobacco if you want.
This idiot. I think about this for a moment because honestly, this is me kind of like inner monologuing to myself because he's back there and he's catching up and I could just hear his voice and I'm just like already annoyed by it. So I have a human who's fairly built. He reminds me of somebody that I don't mind going at again. I have a dwarf. Anything about the dwarf that I could perceive? Any armor or anything that he might be wearing?
So none of them that you can see are wearing armor.
We
There
have
are
no weapons ourselves, right?
correct. During this test, I kind of actually should have gone through during this test beforehand. You would have been directed to a chamber where each of you would have pricked a finger and placed it onto a tablet, which would have synced it up to you. So all of your gear is essentially in a blood sealed chest, but they did give you basically some tunics for the event overall.
Gotcha. So I really felt that because I didn't even have no leather on. Damn it. Okay, so I'm looking at a human, fairly built, a dwarf, and an elf in a cloak. Okay, so being elf and being a magic wielder and coming from magic wielders, I'm already looking at the elf in the cloak and I'm thinking probably a magic wielder, and I don't have my weapons with me. So for me to deal blood to do my thing, magic against magic, not really probably my best choice. I look at the dwarf, stout, strong, overall, but I like dwarves. They help me out with my stuff. In fact, there's some I'd like to work with them more often. They're actually been really cool with me. I've been drinking with dwarves, and actually, if it wasn't for a particular dwarf during my training, I probably wouldn't have got through some of those nights. So just out of because I like dwarves, I might want to go drink with that guy later. I'm gonna go for the human.
Okay. So as you step up to the platform itself, you see the human kind of cracking his neck a bit and stretching up as he kind of starts bouncing, almost like warming up there. And as you go towards the center where he's at, it's about a 5 foot by 5 foot area. So it's not that. I'm sorry, 10 foot by 10 foot. So it's not super large, but there is kind of areas to move around. As you cross that platform, um, the part where you had to cross through actually flips to its side and it's no longer usable. It does not allow you to go backwards nor for anyone else to come forwards. So you're essentially there. The only way to progress is by going forward. And you see the human kind of there. He has blondish hair, which is a little bit long, that he comes down and brings into a braid overall. And he does have two leather cufflinks on his arms itself. And he's in there cracking, and he goes, "All right, bud, I'll give you first hit. Come on."
I look at him and I look back at the path that fell behind me, and I think to myself, Devil might have had a point there. Oh well, I have to move forward.
Do I hear any of this? And
No, this is an internal monologue that he's
no,
doing.
no, no. The guy saying, "I'll give you first hit."
Oh, from your distance, no. He's not
Damn,
saying it loud. It's more just him and there.
damn.
So I want to. I look at him. I'm pretty okay with this. I'm like, all right, I just got to take him down. Not a big deal. I want to go up to him, and as I run up to him, I think about. I'm personally, my fighting style is whatever. It's clever, right?
Mm.
Um, I kneel down and tell him to give me a moment as I pretend to pray. And as I pretend to pray, I want to pick up a little bit of dirt in my right hand.
Okay, so we're gonna do two new checks for you. First one, we're gonna do a deception
Hmm.
to see if you can actively make him believe. Give me a second so I can pray. So the first thing we're gonna do,
Okay.
deception.
That's a 12, but my deception's a -1, so 11.
Okay, so 11 overall with your -1.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I want you to go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand. This is gonna be how well you can successfully grab some of that dirt without him noticing.
15 with a +1, so 16.
16. Okay. So you do go ahead and you're able to grab some of that gravel that you were hoping to grab. And as you are in that moment of praying and pretending to pray and look back up, he's smiling heavily as he's standing above you, full leg extended, bringing it forward to your face for a kick.
Well, at that point, can I reactionary like try to dodge or
So I will say, yep. If you want to attempt to dodge, I will say you can try that out. Just roll a straight d20.
14, and do I need to do anything with it or
No,
just 14?
this one's just a straight. So you do manage to go ahead and pull back a little bit as you see that foot coming. You know the momentum is going to go. So there's no point of going side to side. An easy movement back. And as you're going back, he does still manage the tip of his foot to clip you in the jaw a little bit and it shoots you up. You are going to just take from that 1 point of damage from that.
So I go into this D&D thing, D&D Beyond, hit a 1, hit damage. Boom. I just wanted to
And,
try it out so I could get my first official damage on something.
and then he's going to look at you, goes, "You should have just taken that first chance. I gave it to you." And as he says that, you see him kind of shimmer for a moment, as a duplicate of himself kind of steps out from behind him and to the left. So now standing in front of you as you're still kind of there recoiling from that hit, you now literally see two of him standing up before you, and it
Gotcha.
is your go now. Oh, I'm sorry. It is Amon's turn.
So do I make it up there now?
Yeah, so you can make it up there. You see that the path to his is gone. The path to the dwarf and the elvish slender figure is still present. And you
So
do you do see him get that kick and then that human split in two.
damn, you should have really waited. I think going in pairs would have done you better. That's why I was trying to save the other two humans. But you have a good time there, buddy. I'm going to go to the elf.
All right, so you're gonna go walk through. Same thing happens to you as you cross that. I think it falls behind you, so that way there's cannot progress backwards. And she stands there, and you do see that this is a as you get closer now that you see that the figure is feminine. Not a word spoken, not a twitch in her body.
Uh, hey there, Miss Lady. I don't exactly know what we're supposed to be doing here. I don't want to fight. I really don't see the point in it. I kind of just want to go about my business. I like seeing him get beat up, and we just met, but I don't want to fight.
And after you say that, you do see her kind of finally notice too. And even though you can't really see her face over her hood, she does respond. She goes, "Oh, silly. It's not always about fighting. Sometimes just playing a simple game is worth it enough." And she begins to advance towards you
Dude,
just
I
very
like
slowly.
games.
Good. Then I hope you appoint me.
I'm gonna hold a reaction to see what she's gonna do.
What are you holding?
An action.
What action are you holding? You got to pre-plan this.
Not necessarily. I could hold an action
Right. But what action are you holding? Are you holding to dodge? Are you holding to potentially try and block?
or a dodge. Let's go
Dodge.
with dodge.
Okay. All right. So she stops up actually 10 feet from you. And you can see under the hood now that she's a little bit closer. You can make out her smile. And it seems a very soft smile, but there's also a flicker of sinister in there. But she does not progress further.
That's it.
Yep. And that is up to it's Karib's turn now.
Okay.
And we don't have weapons or anything, right?
Mm-mm.
Some bitch.
So this, am I basically on an island right now?
You're on an island, more of a peninsula, because there is a way off to the other side. There's just
Mm-hmm.
not a way back.
Gotcha. So, and he pretty much, since I was pretty much at the entrance, how close is the back drop off behind me?
I'd say from you doing that backup and then from him kicking you, you are effectively like right at that edge.
Now there's two of them, right?
Now there's two of them.
Did they split evenly with a gap in the middle, or did one just step to the left or right?
It went in step to the left, and there's I'd say maybe about a foot and a half of distance between them. They didn't leave an open gap, for you to run through, but about a foot and a half, between their shoulders.
Foot and a half between their shoulders, and he stepped to his left, right?
To his left, so it'd be to your right.
To my right. Copy. So, being that I have a hand of dirt, a thing of dirt in my hand, and that I got clipped that I watched him as he kind of separates over to the right, I want to move to my left diagonally and feint a punch while releasing the dirt in the guy right in front of me in his eyes, moving away from the guy who stepped out to the right. Either way, if he's an illusion, it'll just go through and I know where the other guy is. If he's a duplicate, I'm trying to at least blind one while moving, and darting towards the left, cutting him off, putting essentially the guy on the right and the guy who's in front of me, putting them between each other. So I have to go on this guy, so that guy's now between him and I.
Okay. So basically you're going to your left, avoiding the one that just came out to your right.
Right.
Okay. And so go ahead and go ahead and make it. Just roll a straight d20. We're gonna do an unarmed strike. For that hand of death.
No one. I feel like Adon's curse, like Jay's curse, came and got me on the combat with the 1. All right. So
Listen, it had happened at some time, and why not a more perfect moment?
right.
So you go ahead and you go to make that dash and throw up your hand, and it's at that moment that you realize that even though it was such a minor connection that that foot had to your chin, the snapback that had happened in your head is causing a momentary just you're out of it. You feel that wooziness. You feel yourself just kind of get thrown off kilter, and you go to throw the sand, and when you go to run, instead of running forward left, you kind of stand up and slump left, releasing the dirt down below.
Gotcha.
And you see both of this human just kind of looking there laughing at you, and they kind of look at themselves and laughing back, and the one close to you kind of crouches down and goes, "It was a good hit, huh? Yeah. Imagine if it really connected. Good try though."
Uh, I hear him. It sounds more like. That's what it sounds like.
And so he's gonna go ahead and use this. He goes, I don't want to end this just yet because you seem interesting. So the one that is closest to you grabs you by the back of your shirt and helps you stand up. And while the other one kind of comes to your face and is going, "Can you see? Can you see me?" And the one holding you once again just decks you this way. He's gonna throw a hook at you, and he is going to land you for 3 damage on that hit, and just let you fall back down to your original position.
I promise you, I'm so much better with a sword.
And that'll end both his and your turn. And Amon, it's back up to you and this other person.
So, little lady, I'm getting the sense of you're gonna do some fuckery right now, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Fuckery games, it's all the same thing.
Now, let's be straight up here. I kind of feel like you want to hit me with a spell or two. I can see it coming, but do we really have to fight? Because I'm gonna get up to you one way or another.
I already told you it's not about fighting. It's all about the game. And what I
Just tell
do.
so tell me the game. Lay it all out. Let's lay our cards on the table and see who wins.
So you're instructing her to tell you the instruction of the game?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. So she is going to go and use her reaction at the moment to dash towards you.
And I'm gonna use my reaction, my held to dodge.
Which direction?
I kind of figure she's going straight towards me, so I'm gonna go left.
Gonna go left? Okay. What I want you to do with your dodge, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
18.
Okay. So you watch as she comes up and she's still smiling. For a split moment you hear this like crunchy kind of growing, and you feel something around your feet, and you take a moment to look down and you see vines are starting to wrap up out of this ground, and you jump just enough time to avoid getting latched into those vines.
Okay,
You do essentially get to the side of her.
I'm on her side.
You're on her left side now. So
Okay,
you're still basically like at a diagonal. So
so
she's,
I can hit her with an unarmed strike. I'm in range.
yeah, you can make a swing.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Sure, I'm gonna do an unarmed strike. Let's see. Let's get this game going. Fuck my life. All right. Does us this is a 17 hit.
Yep, 17 hits.
All right. Damage. Let me see what the.
So your unarmed strike is just gonna
Is
do
1 plus your strength modifier.
which is 0. So you do no
Ooh.
damage on your unarmed strike. So you connect.
No, it's a 1.
No, you get a +1
It's
to hit.
+1 to your modifier. It's equal to 1 plus your modifier. So it's a 1.
You have a -1 for strength. You
No, I
have the
don't.
modifier.
No.
Yes, your modifier for strength is at a -1.
Son of a bitch.
You have no damage on your unarmored. So you went ha,
You're
and
doing.
she laughed. She goes, "Why? What soft hands you have?
You know, I moisturize twice a day.
Give me your recipe. I would love to have it."
Oh, if you don't kill me, sure.
You know,
And Carib, it is back onto your turn, and you can hear the crowd laughing heavily at that whole interaction of just a little.
Good
Eh.
God. Good God.
it's luckily it's the laughter that starts to bring me back to some sort of consciousness for a second there, as I'm thinking to myself, are they laughing at me or him? I'm not entirely sure right now, but I know these two guys are laughing at me. So I'm right back where I was. Can you
Mhm.
tell me the positions of my Tweedledee and Tweedledum here?
So
Sorry, Kimball Slice and Mike Tyson.
so at this point they are on both sides of you. So you're standing in the middle. To the diagonally to the right in front of you is one. Diagonally to the left is the other. But now they have moved 5 feet apart, and there is a gap between them.
There is a gap. 5 feet that way, 5 feet that way. How far to that platform?
It's 10 feet to the other side.
10 feet. My thinking is they're not engaged right now, right?
They are, because they are within 5 feet of you. So you can attempt to go through, but they will have an opportunity to react.
And that's 2 opportunities.
As far as you know, yes.
Okay. Um, do I know which one slapped me?
The one that was on your left is the one that punched you and
So,
put you back in where you were.
at least I know he's physical. He's real. I still don't know if the other guy's real because all he did was wave in my face. Doesn't matter if I run through him, but if I can't run through him when we're running into a wall, I need to find out if he's real or not and find out whether or not I'm fighting 2 people or 1. Because if I make a dash and I disengage and they both attack me, I mean, those guys hit hard. So 2 of them is just going to be way too much on me. Am I down? What am I? I'm not prone, right?
You're not prone, so he basically knocked you back, and you would have fell to one knee just to kind of catch yourself, but you are still standing. You would have picked yourself back up.
So
Wobbly.
I have to make a okay, so what I want to do is I know he hit me, so he's physical. So the guy who didn't hit me and just waved in my face, I want to shove him and hopefully get enough distance by shoving him that I can then use my move action. So I want to shove first, then move. Could that work?
Yeah. Go ahead and do a strength check for me. See how well you successfully push him.
9 plus 1, 10, or yeah, 10.
Okay. So you go and stand up, and you kind of have a gauge for what's going on, and you look at the one on the left, and just with your muster your strength and go to push through the next one and give some more space. And as you go to make contact, you do pass through him, and that momentum that you were carrying does send you into a tumble. I need you to roll an additional straight d20 for me.
Again, another 9 plus, well, dexterity, right? So
No,
9.
this one's just a straight.
Oh, it's just straight. So 9.
So 9. Okay. So you got to go through, and that momentum carries you to where you pass through and lands flat on your stomach. You do make it 5 feet further from where you were, so you have progressed, but you are now on the floor,
Gotcha.
and one arm is essentially dangling over the edge of the platform you're on. Because again, it's not a big platform.
Damn, I'm dazed and confused here. I'm fumbling.
And so he's gonna go and take his turn, and you again hear just laughing like, "You crack me up, kid." And you feel again him just kind of pick you up from the back of your tunic there, and he's just kind of looking at you and goes, "Let's try this again." and he walks you back over to where you were, and he plants you back on the floor on your stomach in the very position you started, and then walks back 5 feet and just kind of
Oh
watches.
shit! They're toying with you.
This bastard.
And Amon, it's back into your group. So what do you want to do from here?
I want to now in this area that we're in. We have to go through a door, right? Or no? How do we exit this place?
So think of this as like your platform, and there was just one kind of beam that went this way and one beam that went this way.
Is that beam upright that we can walk through?
Yeah, the other side is still up. It's just the one that you came from was one that fell off.
Oh, so I can make a beeline for it.
You can certainly try.
I'm not thinking about it, but it's good to know I can. I'm gonna use a cantrip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna butcher the name of it.
So you have thaumaturgy.
Oh,
Thaumaturgy is.
and you wanted me to pronounce that? I would butcher the shit out of that name.
I saved you. That's why I said thaumaturgy.
Gotcha, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna use that. And I'm going to, you may cause harmless tremors in the ground for 1 minute.
Okay.
I'm hoping that kind of gets her little vine things, interrupts her vines for the most part. And I'm going to, am I still on her side?
You're so basically you dodge the side, so you're where you were, you just moved to your
And
right.
she's right next to me, right?
Yeah, so she's just like
Okay.
one step forward to the right.
So
Left of you. I'm sorry.
So I'm going to do another unarmed strike. Just hear me out. But I'm gonna finesse it.
So just point of order. So to cast your spell, your cantrip, that would be
Is my action. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So you can choose one or the other. I'll let you whatever.
Now I'm gonna do the cantrip.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the cantrip. And then I'm gonna go, well, little lady, this has been fun. But gotta go.
So your eyes and Kareem, even though you're kind of keeping tabs on what's happening to yours, you can kind of see a little bit out of your peripheral where he's at, and you can see his eyes kind of flicker in this kind of greenish light almost for a little bit. And his platform, where in his mind he's like, this can do some serious shit. It just vibrates a little bit.
I'm hoping it kind of throws her off a little bit.
It does nothing. It's harmless tremors.
I'm not saying it's gonna hurt her. I'm just kind of catch her by surprise, like, oh.
It's the equivalent of when you go to the mall and put a quarter in those chairs, and it just.
Well, she is.
Turn the platform into a mate and then big vibrator.
I was just about to say, well, she is the woman, and let it roll through your body, baby.
So okay, and then you wanted to do that's all you wanted to say to her, or did you want to try and were you gonna move?
I said, I said it. Well, this has been fun, but gotta go.
Okay.
I'm gonna beeline it to where the fuck the exit is.
Okay. So she's gonna be like, this is so boring.
Sorry.
Let's try something new, shall we?
Oh, damn it.
And she's going to, as a reaction, as you go and bolt past her, she's going to reach out and she's going to go and your AC is what?
14.
She's going to go and reach out and attempt to grab your tunic just to kind of hold you there. But you are able to successfully get past her, and you begin running through, and you get to the other side of the platform. You make it past. It's only a 10-foot space, and then the little platform off. So you have made it past her. She missed trying to grab you, and you have made it off of her platform.
Woo! Little lady, can we have a drink later?
Fuck off. You're boring.
Trust me, I'm better with a couple of drinks in me.
And you watch her just kind of like from the one thing you can see now, just she kind of looks up with her hood a little bit, and you can see a little bit of flickering in her eyes as well, as the whole platform itself kind of envelops with these vines before contracting down. And as she's going down, she just like,
I'm gonna take that as a maybe.
and so you have successfully cleared this obstacle. Ahead of you, there is looks think of like an old school jungle gym made of
Hmm.
various ropes
Now,
and other contraptions.
before you keep going and describing, would I be able to get to his platform?
You'd have about 10 feet more. So yeah, you can get to where his is going to his runway egg ends off, but you wouldn't be able to make it all the way onto his.
No.
You can
Well,
get
I'm
to
talking
where
about in my
he would
next
be able to
turn.
run off. Yeah, your next turn you could, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the entrance of his and look in and go, "How you doing in there?"
Fucking ass. All right. So as I sit here and I watch all this unfold, I see the Irish-looking brute, cloning brute in front of me. I'm watching as the fiend basically just dashes, dodges, and makes the ground, I think, vibrate from this distance. I can't tell. I just saw some dust kind of flutter up. And he gets off of the platform, and I notice that the thing comes down, and I realize, okay, all I have to do is get to the end of this platform. And I watch him as he just calls back to me, and I'm just embarrassed beyond belief of just how can this guy be already in front of me, and he's just, if it wasn't for him personally, I don't think I would have concentrated better, but whatever. Um, at this point, the guy's right in front of me. I'm pissed. I mean, I can feel the rage starting to boil inside of me. I'm starting to get cloudy. My thoughts aren't there. My eyes are starting to just bloodshot. And I'm just like, you know what? I will not allow it to be bullied. I'm going to go right through this guy. I'm going to just pound him straight forward. I'm going to kick him, and I'm going to go right through him.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and make another. Actually, so this one you're gonna attempt to kick him. So go and do an unarmed strike.
Ah, okay. Well, that's an 8. This guy's tough.
You don't have any plus for your unarmed strike?
Unarmed
You get
strike. Oh,
you
sorry.
get a +3.
+3. So that's a
8, 9,
tw-
11.
12.
11.
Yeah, it's 11 there. So you go and kick him. Where were you trying to land this kick? What area of his body?
Honestly, the balls. I'm going to just. I'm playing dirty right now. I'm just like, I'm
Okay.
just going to go right up to him and just go whack. I'm just going to try to football kick him in the balls.
So you go and make that kick, and you feel it connect. But this man must have had some kind of training because he doesn't even move. He throws his head back. Now, okay. Now you're getting fun. All right, but that was cheap. That was cheap. I gotta get you back. You know that, right?
I'm thinking to myself, he's a Munich. Damn it. It's like, it's kind of my ankle hurts a little bit from impacting what must have been balls of steel.
It was ball something. So he's laughing. He goes, "Okay, we're gonna play this game. All right, ball for ball." And he drops to one knee and uppercuts. And that's gonna be, oh, God, it's gonna be a hit.
Damn it.
So this one is 2 damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Okay, well, that's gonna suck. My constitution, saving throw. It's
Mhm.
still a -1. 15 -1, which is 14.
Okay, so as his fist makes connection with your balls, right?
What was that? What was that damage? I'm sorry, before you
It
get
was
into
2.
this.
It was 2 damage. He got 1 damage on each nut.
Fuck. All right, please
So
describe this for me.
you watch. So I'm gonna give you a visual representation. This is your sack, okay? As his fist comes up, right? He just frogs you real quick and gets right in between both balls to smoosh it up into your gooch. And in that moment, you realize, wow, he could have just popped both balls, but he didn't. Restraint. But then the pain hits, and your eyes go wide a little bit. The disorientation you felt from the chin earlier is now back, but in your balls. And you almost kind of lose a little bit, but you snap back because you're like, I can't fall here. Motherfuckers ahead of me doing bullshit. I can't get punched in the balls and lose like this. And you still stand your ground.
With watered eyes, I
Yeah, heavily watered eyes.
grin. I like he's now through this fog of like water. I feel like I'm seeing through the water. Luckily, I could see okay in water, but it's still I can see the little ripples of water. I almost squeal, but no sound actually comes out as I just grin and bear it. I've been hitting the balls before, and all this is coming to pass. I almost want to wipe my eyes, but I'm not going to do that in front of these people. Um, yeah, that's breathe, breathe.
And you see him, he stands up because he's like, wow, that was a good connection. And he's let's go round two. And he takes another 5 feet back. He just steps back. And again, since he was up engaged with you with his movement backwards, you can expend a reaction to attempt to attack, strike him back. Just so I don't want you to lose it.
I like how we said attempt to attack because as of right now, attempting is all I've done.
All you've got. That last one, he got you good.
I rolled a 2.
You rolled a 2 to
I
try
rolled
and strike.
I rolled a, I would rather lie. I rolled a 2.
Okay, so you out of your teary, frustration, disorientation, you take a wide swing, and he just doesn't even care. He already stepping back. He knows it's not gonna hit. He goes, oh, gotta be quicker than that. And Amon, is now your turn. Actually, before your point of order, before your turn, as he was doing this, the other him goes behind and is standing at the entry where you could come in, looking at you, going, "Mm-mm, ah."
I wasn't planning on it. I'm enjoying the view.
And now it's your turn. You can go.
And I noticed that I'm going, he'll be fine. And I go to the next obstacle.
Okay. So the next obstacle.
Remember, you said it's every man for themselves.
Did say that. So the next obstacle course is a heaping pile of vines and ropes that are gathered and intertwined together, and you essentially would have to make your way through it. So
Can I make a perception check to see if I can find a route that's easier to go through? And
yeah, go
ahead. That's a 10.
10.
No,
Is that
that's
with
10
your plus
total.
5?
That's 10
Ooh.
total.
Okay. So you start looking through and you're like, okay, well there's a way that leads there and one there, and you're like, that one looks like a really good one. And as you say that, you can see where the one that you're pointing from, you see someone dropping out from that area a few feet in, going, "Ah!" At the bottom.
I'm gonna hang out right here, trying to figure this out for a few minutes.
Okay. All right. And I'm on it, or I'm sorry, it's back up to you.
Okay, this guy's now 10 feet from me. I'm hurting. I'm feeling it. I'm frustrated, and the guy is he's not engaged with me. So he's moving, and he's a fighter, and so I'm going to have to make my way around this dude somehow. Um, I have 30 movements, so from here I can get to the platform if I can get around him. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because remember, it's only 10 feet across in total, so you can clear that, and then make it to the next
So
obstacle.
so it's 10 feet across in total. So 10 and 10 is 20. So could I go diagonal, like start to go diagonal, kind of like I'm thinking like a running back doing a football play. So I start going diagonal. I know he might start coming this way. And as I go my 5 feet or 10 feet where he would start to cut off, I want to juke him because I know that the other dude is an illusion. So I almost want to juke and then move past him and go straight for the platform. So
Okay,
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my movement. I know he's going to probably react as I'm passing him, even though he's 10 feet away, and I can keep a 10-foot distance between me and him. But if I can get straight to that platform, I'm going for the platform.
okay. Let's do a performance check to see if you can successfully convince him that you are attempting to run some type of pattern diagonally and convince him to move in the pattern that you're wanting him to.
18 minus 1 is 17.
Okay. And so we will do, yeah, that's a nat one on his part. So he looks at you and he's like, is he gonna try and jump? And he dashes in the direction attempting to go and cut you off at a proper angle.
All
And
right.
so from there you're able to continue with your motion, and essentially Juke came out and pass by him. And as you do, you kind of see him go, look at you, like, damn, that was cool. As you continue your movement past him, and the one that was looking at Amon is still none the wiser. He's still watching him, just kind of from over there, looking at him, looking at the jungle parts. And you're just gonna run straight through him.
I'm going to run straight through him.
All right. You run straight through him, and you have cleared this obstacle. And you hear him laughing, and from over the corner of your shoulder, you see that one that was watching Amon just kind of dissipate, as the other guy just kind of like stand there laughing, as his entire platform goes up around him and then drops as well.
Okay. Breathing hard.
Oh, your nuts are still throbbing too.
I
Just keep
gotta,
that
I
in
gotta,
mind.
take, I gotta take a moment. As soon as I clear the platform, I basically just drop to my knees for a moment and I just breathe it out. Amon's looking that way. These guys are gone. I let a single man tear crawl down the side of my face. I want to wipe it off, shake it off, and I just kind of like pipe myself back up. It's like, you have something more important than stopping here. You gotta move forward. You gotta make better decisions. I look up and I look at at Amon, and he hasn't been very bright making decisions coming up to this point, but I feel like maybe these things are getting harder as we go on. It's not just a matter of about checking. So I want to go up. Do I have enough movement to get up to next to Amon?
Yeah, you're able to get easily up next to him at the next obstacle.
So after I had a moment to just kind of clear my thoughts and kind of breathe it out for a second, I want to get up and I kind of walk as normal as possible. And it takes concentration. Do I need to do a concentration throw to walk normal?
You're fine. So you're basically, after doing your little pep talk of make better choices, you kind of take in that breath and you start doing that, wider stance walk to make sure that you're not rubbing against the freshly bruised testicles. And you're just, okay, normal. Keep it good. Keep it good. And you make it up to him.
Any thoughts on this yet?
Huh? You talking? Oh, you finally talking to me. That's nice. Well, we're not going straight because I just seen somebody fall from like 20 feet in the air. So that's not going. I want to see what other way it can go. Maybe you can help out with that.
Yeah, maybe. Nice move over there on that other platform.
Oh, thank you. And I start laughing and I do one of those little ha 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 to the gut.
We're not there yet. Don't touch me.
Oh no, I do it. There's no telling me that, especially that I know he got hit in the nuts.
These vines?
I pat him in the stomach like, "Hey, buddy."
I wince a little bit. I block it a little bit with my forearm, like
Oh, you're still a little tender.
Can we concentrate, please? Concentrate on what's at hand.
Yeah, I can give you an advantage on perception. So roll perception.
It's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. Well, he can give me advantage on perception then.
He can if he's gonna help you look. Yeah, that's fine. You can roll with advantage, or you both can roll perception.
How does that work? Forgive me, I've never done that before.
So basically, what this means is you can assist him on a check. So in this case, he's trying to perceive a better path. So with you there, you can either give him advantage, so he can roll his d20 and get to take the higher number, or you both can roll, and then we can kind of take the average from there to see if you guys succeed as a team.
Just because we're here now, what do you suggest, Jay?
It's up to you, whatever you want to do.
All
I
right.
have a +5 on perception.
Okay, then I'll try to add to his perception.
Okay, so
Okay,
Jay,
so
yeah, go ahead and go with
advantage.
advantage. Yep.
Yeah, definitely good with the advantage because that was a 7 first.
And that was a 19.
No, so he rolls twice. You gave him advantage since you're gonna let him.
Got it.
Can we go with his?
No, what'd you get?
13
A
+5.
13 plus 5. Okay. So you definitely know not to take that middle path. You know something there happened, and it may not be the safest. You can see that on the right path, you can see a little bit more light than the one on the left. But that's really the best you can get with that new check.
We're going right. And I just go for it.
So this is gonna be involving climbing. So your movement speed itself is going to be halved unless you have an ability to climb.
I do not.
Like a climbing speed. So like Damian, how you have a movement speed in water, like a swimming speed, there's some races or some traits come with climbing. So you guys are essentially going to be half speed through this obstacle because of climbing in the vines.
Can we see how far the obstacle is? Through the vines? Is it
I'll
kind of
say from your check from earlier when you were on top of the wall before you did your Spider-Man jump, you would see that this roughly goes about 30 feet. It's not very, very long, but it was pretty tall and thick around. The diameter of it was a little big.
okay? Hey, before
Yeah.
you can I give him any advice? Can I still speak to him
Yeah,
before he
you can
goes?
still speak. Sure.
Hey, before you go, do you want to check the vines to see if it supports one or two people at a time?
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
So I'll say it'll go off of your same check. So these are pretty thick vines and they are woven and intertwined together pretty well. So a few bodies could go through as far as the entrance part that you're seeing now. As you progress further, you can't really see inside. You don't know what's going to come up there, but the entryway can support more than one person on these vines so far.
Okay. The only reason why I'm asking is because it might be better if we go in tandem. If you're on one, I'm on another, and we can double check and hold on to each other's ropes to make sure that one of them doesn't just snap.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm down.
So what are you going to do, Amon? You're going to go through?
Yeah, I'm gonna go through.
And you said you're taking the right path, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you see Amon begin climbing his way through and out of view as he disappears into this first tunnel. Amon, you do feel that the vines themselves are sturdy. Some of them are rather thick. There are a few prickly patches where you can feel some kind of points, but it doesn't really hurt per se. But you make it a good 15 feet inside, and it is getting darker in there overall from all the vines layered on top of each other.
Okay. With it being dark, I can still see, right?
So yeah, you have dark vision. You can see shades of gray. You can't make out fine detail in there, but you
Yeah.
still have visibility. And then with that, it'll be Karib's turn.
All right, I'm going to follow Amon on this one, but he's halfway through right now. He's 15 feet in.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything else that I could perceive from that vantage point, or just a side wall of vines, and about how long it was?
So you're talking about from the check on the wall when you were up there?
Yeah.
So really you just got kind of like the overall length from it. But because of the distance it was from that original obstacle, you just knew that it was a vine-like contraption, but you weren't able to make much more detail than that.
I have a +2 in nature. Can it determine what kind of vines these are? Would be any? I'm trying to figure out if by looking at the vines and touching the vines, can I determine anything about the vines or the nature of what this obstacle may be based on the vines themselves?
Absolutely.
All right, I want to do that. I want to use my nature and my investigative things because I know he went that way and I didn't get a chance to really check him out before I got here. So I want to check them out and make sure that the path that he's taken, or if I can gauge that anything about these vines might perceive a thing, because he's mentioned prickly things. So I want to take one of those things and just kind of look at it and examine and figure out my vine stuff.
Okay, absolutely. So you have advantage on nature checks. So you're gonna roll twice and give me that highest number.
So 16 and a 2. So 16.
Okay, so 16 and then +2. So you have a total of 18 then for that
18.
roll.
Mhm.
Okay, so you go and approach the mass of the vines here, and you're looking, and some of them are just some standard vines, some a little bit more dead than others, a little bit more drained, but there are some that are still, stretching and full of life. And then you notice that mixed in with some of these vines is a more unknown plant species that is very prickly. It has thorns on it. These thorns, you do know, cause numbness, which in jungles can be bad because you don't know when something might be latched on due to numbness. And as you look, that first main entrance that he said avoid has none of the prickles. It has the straight vines. The one that Amon had gone down through does have some of the prickles around the outside, but still has some vines there. And the one to the left is also clear of any of the prickles.
Shit. He's already halfway down that one. The prickles cause numbness, and I don't know if he's touched any of the ones with the prickles, and I'm not entirely sure if we can avoid the prickles. The center one, people fell and died, and then the one on the left is dark, but I can see in the dark, and I'm pretty sure with his fiendish blood, he probably can see in the dark too. Before I move, I want to call out to him. Can he hear me?
Yeah, he can still hear you. It's gonna be muffled, but he can still hear you.
Hey, Hornface!
Huh?
Hornface, can you hear me?
Yeah, what you want?
The path you picked has poison thorns. They cause numbness. Numb nuts.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Numbness, not
Don't
paralysis.
Don't touch the spiky ones. There's another path that doesn't have it. Do you want to try this one?
Sure.
Can you make it back without touching the spiky vines?
Too late.
Well, don't touch anymore, damn it.
No promises.
I think I'm going to wait here for him to come back so we can talk about this one more time.
Okay. All right. So, Aman, how do you want to proceed from here?
I'm gonna
Now
go
that
back.
you know that things make you numb.
I'm gonna be extremely cautious with the vines that I touch to go
Okay.
back.
Okay. All right. And so you begin making your way out. Now, Karib, as he is exiting, you can see, okay, good. I see him coming out. He's able to make out. This is good. And as his hands appear out and as his body makes its way out, you can see that latched onto him are dozens of these insect looking things that are currently biting into his flesh and wiggling and dangling, and he doesn't even seem to notice at all.
Hey, bud. So what's going on?
And he is visibly a little bit paler than when he went in.
You have your blood-sucking insects on you. You have blood-sucking insects on you.
What?
Blood-sucking insects on your numb, dumb ass.
And as you look, Jay, think of if a leech and a spider were to cross. So there's a hard carcassy part with these very thin, wiry legs that are gripped into your different areas of the body, with this long tendril-headed mouth like a leech that's burrowing itself into your flesh. And you can see where in some parts under your skin, there is where little bulges are kind of moving as they're drained.
He's still on the vines and he still has movement, or did he make
No,
it?
he's made it
I'm
out
out.
the vines. Yeah, he's made it out.
Okay.
So, Amani, you're trying to pull these off?
Yeah.
Okay. Do just straight strength check. Straight strength.
16.
16? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're able to go ahead and grab 2 off your neck, one that's on the inner part of your left arm. You had one that's on your, or I'm sorry, 2 that are on your right forearm, and then one that's right here on your clavicle. There are still like 4 that you weren't able to get because of the way that they were burrowed in, but for the most part, the majority of them are off.
Nice.
Do I know what these things are? Let me see. I have medicine. Oh, no. I don't have medicine. I have
That would
nature
be,
still.
yeah, that would be a part of another nature. So if you want to identify these particular creatures, you can spend your time doing so. Yeah, that's fine.
I really don't want to spend my time doing so. And how burrowed in? I mean, is this something like a pimple I can pop and kill them underneath the skin, or is it something that I can pull out? I don't have any. I don't have any knives. I can't cut them out.
So they're essentially, I would say, about a quarter of an inch burrowed in. The deepest one, maybe as far as a good inch under the skin. But they haven't like necessarily burrowed the way all the way through. It's mainly just a way for their heads to get in there to drain the blood.
Gotcha.
But yeah, a quarter to an inch
So I could
long.
just I can gently like ticks pick them off. I can pick them off.
Yeah, you can just like you saw him rip. You watch as he ripped some of these off, and you can attempt to do that as well.
All right, I'm gonna take the last 4 of them off of them because
Sweet.
they're. Let's look. Wait a minute. Do I have the perception check to make sure none of them are on his balls? There's
That's on you. If you want to check that area, that's all up to. That's between you and Jesus.
all right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the visible
This
ones
turned
that I
into
can
a this turned to a heavy beaties.
I'm gonna take the physical ones that I can see. If there's 4 that I can physically see on him, I'm gonna pull those off.
Okay, run
Yeah,
me just
I'm gonna lift up my little kilt. Hey, there's any in there?
You're not wearing a kilt. You are wearing pants.
Oh.
You have a tunic pants.
Oh, I dropped my bra. I dropped my pants. Hey, do I got any in there?
Do you
As
make
I-
do you make
as
eye
I
contact with
wiggle.
the snail?
As I
No, I don't. As soon as I see him go for this motion, I turn away and I just look away and I'm just like, this is exactly why I can't stand fiends. You guys have no.
I look to make sure I don't got nothing down there, and I pull up my pants.
So there's nothing down there. You're fine.
There's something down there. As I pull up my pants.
Come over here. Let me get these other ones off you.
Okay.
And so run me a straight just quick strength check.
19.
Okay, but yeah, you're good. Yeah,
Yeah.
the other 4 you get. The one that was about an inch thick, you do grab it, and it kind of is in there a little bit, and as you're pulling it out, it is lifting some of it, and it's just the last little as it detaches itself, and you see it just kind of like dribbling some blood as this little round mouth of almost tendril like teeth themselves like.
I don't know what's more disgusting, these critters or helping you.
The critters.
Look, the center path that you told me not to go down has none of those thorns. Neither does the path on the left. Can you see in the dark?
Yes.
Look, so since the center doesn't work, and obviously getting you down that path is not going to work for you either, might I suggest we take the one on the left? We could both see in the dark, and then we could probably avoid any obstacles that we can't understand.
Sure, let's go. Lead the way, buddy.
So you guys are able to effectively push, the 15 feet in through it. And this one, as you're going through, it's not really getting smaller, but there are vines and stuff, and it is kind of a cramped space. You are almost tunneling your way in a kind of a crouched position as you're having to kind of pull through. Nothing really noticeable in this event, so you do have it would go back to your turn to where you can make that next leg of the journey, and you do make it out from that particular batch of vines, and you have cleared this obstacle with one final obstacle left.
Making my way through the woods, walking fast, spaces fast.
And as you approach this
You
one, the very
have to
final
sing.
one, it just turned to Shrek and Donkey. As you approach the final one, it is a pool of some type of liquid substance that's inside of it. It's roughly about 10 feet deep that you can see, and it's about 20 feet long before the end of the obstacle course. Within the liquid, it's pretty clear, so it's easy to see that there are there's 3 bodies that are currently in there. There's 2 smaller little items, entities But that's about it. On the other side, there is the finish line for the most part.
I don't trust this water.
Obviously. Do you have any other obvious statements that could help, or do you want to give me something that might actually make this worthwhile?
Well, you're the fish guy. Get in the water.
Is this thing natural in essence? Can I do another nature check to see if it's acid or some other lava or slime or something?
So that would involve you having to physically ascertain what it is. So you can absolutely do your nature check. If you don't want to touch it, it would just be an investigation, which would be a little bit of a higher difficulty check to try and beat.
Can I give him advantage on the investigation?
How would you provide him advantage on figuring out what this is?
I'm gonna grab something and stick it in the water.
What are you gonna grab?
Is there rocks, sticks around?
There's
Dirt.
pebbles. There's dirt. You'd have to sprinkle
Oh,
dirt.
I'm gonna pick up the pebbles and I'm gonna skip rocks.
Okay. So as you're about to start, touching to analyze like this water, you watch him on pick up a quick stone and go to, toss it across the pond like anyone else does. And when it first hits, it doesn't bounce. It hits and goes.
It's Jello.
I immediately recoil my hand for a second there, and I think to myself, okay, that's not water. The substance, the viscosity is just completely off. So these bodies, are they on the surface?
So you can see.
Or are they
One of them-
underneath the surface?
So one of them, which is the closest one to you, is near the bottom of this pool. The one that is beyond that, part of its back is bridging the top, while the rest of it is kind of underneath. And the very last one, you can see where the legs are underneath, but the top part is. I'm sorry, flip it. The head is underneath, but the legs are on top.
Now, the legs that are on top, is it shooting straight up or is it kind of slanted?
Well, seeing as you can only assume that they ran out of oxygen, those legs are slumped.
Mm-hmm. Now, the first body that you said is up.
The first body is all the way at the bottom.
No. The first one that you said that it was on the surface.
Mhm.
I know the first one is underneath the water. I'm talking about the first one that's above
the first one that's above its back is bridging
the
surface a bit, while the rest
Now, if I go to jump, would I be able to reach it?
you can try.
Wait, I know what you're thinking. Hold on a second. Just wait. I see that grin on your face, and I just kind of know what you're thinking. If you jump for that body, your weight and that body on that substance, there's no guarantee that that's going to hold you up just because you weigh more than a damn pebble before you go and do something stupid.
I'm just saying, if I can skip through the bodies, like Mary and Joseph skipped through the woods, I can get to the goddamn exit.
Mary just never went through the woods.
Listen, I don't know. I don't really care.
Okay. So what do you want to do? You want to try and jump to the body? You can try.
I'm trying to skip the bodies. I'm trying to jump.
You're trying to jump. Okay. So go ahead and roll athletics. Unless you want to try and finesse your way across to that body.
This shit ain't gonna do anything else to me if I finesse it.
Okay. All right. So athletics then.
Hold on. Isn't it still my turn? Isn't it still my turn?
You guys are kind of interjecting turns at this point because it's
Gotcha.
We're not in combat. So
Yeah, I still want to put my hand in front of him for a second and say, wait, just a second.
okay. So his hand is kind of holding you back for a moment.
I go, sir.
Is there any other? How far across is this pond? This
20
thing?
feet.
20 feet. So we can make it. What are we gonna lose if I get stuck in the water?
Is there anything on the other side that we could see?
The end of the obstacle course.
So yeah, I'm
Finish
gonna do
line.
this. I'm gonna do the skips of the bodies.
I wanted to see if I could help you out, but
If I do like a twirl in the air, will we consider this acrobatics?
That's what I was asking if you wanted to finesse it. So by
Yes, I
trying
want
to
to
do some
finesse
type
it.
of
I want to
twist.
finesse it. I
Okay.
want to finesse it.
So acrobatics. This is why I'm saying, use your words. It'll affect your rolls better.
Yeah, I was just about to say because a +1 or a +3. I go with +3.
Swing and a miss.
17 altogether.
17 altogether. Okay. So you go and take a few steps back just to make sure you have that proper distance, and take a moment, take a deep breath, and you bolt for it, and you launch yourself through the air almost like you've been shot of a cannonball. So your arms are kind of behind you, your legs are back, and your stomach
I
is pressed very
believe I
forward.
can fly.
And what you do from there is as you're jumping through, you rotate your body just enough so you switch position of your head and legs, and it gives you just an extra bit of momentum to make it to that body and land and get there. I need you to do a dex save, please. Actually, no, just a dexterity check. It's not really saving anything.
19.
Yeah. So you hit
I
that
thought
body.
I thought I was good. I was trying more of bounce off. Like I land here, jump there, jump there. Skip.
You're not a monk.
Baby boy, it's 20 feet. I got 30. I can do
It's
this.
it's 20 feet of you having to first get to that first body, land
All right,
successfully.
whatever.
Now, when you hit, it does have a little of that little boom, 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 but as it's moving, that body that you land on is sinking a bit. So it has kind of sunk, and the substance is touching the base soles of your boots.
Now I'm gonna try to lift up my shoes to see if it lifts up.
So it is very hard to. There's a lot of resistance kind of keeping you there as you're trying to pull it up, but with it just having the soles, it's like.
Okay, cool.
So, Crib, did you want to do anything from here? Seeing him flip and now make that body go lower?
Well, he's stuck. So
Not
first,
necessarily.
the first thing I want to do is say, I told you, just think things through. You horned fiend, you. Gosh.
Waterboy, I don't see you doing anything. At least I'm a little further than you. Like I've been most of this damn thing. You've been behind me. When you
Sure.
were getting your balls beat, I was ahead of you. Not even a lick on me.
If it wasn't for me, you would have fallen off the vines numb and drank to death by now. So shut up.
I mean, that would have been fine. They would have been intoxicated for drinking my blood anyway. I'm a little buzzed right now. Why you think I did this stupid shit?
I want to interject in this moment because this is the most beautiful Ricky Bobby thing. Like, if you ain't first, you last.
Honestly,
So technically,
I should just wait till you're halfway down and step on your shoulders and leave you there.
I mean, I help you even though I'm dying. I still help you. I never said I wouldn't, but you're being a dick. You're being a dick. I don't know what happened in your past, but buddy, you gotta open up sometimes. Sometimes it's good to let people in, not let everybody.
Oh, shush already.
You
During
know
this
what?
conversation, Amon has sunk a little bit further into the substance.
Damn
It
it.
is up to the ankles of his boots now.
God damn it, you son of a bitch! You distracted me. I'm gonna untie my boots. I'm gonna untie my boots and
Gonna untie them? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna untie them so I can jump to the next one and just immediately jump forward.
Okay.
Ricochet.
Before he progresses, Crib, what did you want to do?
I was going to say, wait here for a second. I'm going to go see if I can pull one of those vines off and come right back.
So,
Do you
okay.
want to wait or do you want to sit there and sink?
I'm kind of sinking, so you do you, buddy.
Those vines are pretty thick, right? I don't have anything to cut them with, do I?
I mean, you can try and manhandle them out, but they're pretty intertwined with one another.
But the ones in the center were pretty loose because someone fell from them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there might be one of those that I can just grab and pull.
But they fell before they made it to the end.
Is there anything that the bodies have or the one that's floating that might still be of use?
So the bodies are dressed in the same garments as you guys were, but within about 7 feet in, and then 7 more feet past that, there are two kind of cylindrical objects that are about 8 feet down inside of the substance that wouldn't have come from one of the people partaking in this.
So in the goop, we'll call it, there are two cylindrical objects, and they are, the goop is how deep? Could we tell?
Goop is, I was 10 feet deep.
10 feet deep. And these cylindrical objects from the surface to the top of the cylindrical object is how deep?
So the first one's about 6 feet. It's 6 feet down and 7 feet out from where you are standing. The next one is an additional 7 feet from there, but that one is only about 4 feet down from the surface of the goop.
Hey, damn it! Can you swim in this crap?
I have good swimming. I could swim pretty damn good, but this is basically like swimming through Jello. I don't know many people that could swim through Jello.
Listen, we
It's a
have
gift.
we have a Jello fight every once in a while in the woods. It's fun.
How far is that sphere from where he's at?
It would be, say, roughly about 3 feet from where he's at, but still 6 feet down. And then the next one is about 10 feet away from him.
Okay.
You're gonna make me force your hand, ain't you?
No. I got an idea.
Amon has sunk a little bit more during this time.
God damn it!
I'm going to jump. Listen to me, fiend. I'm going to, because you can still move in this, right? He can still able to move his feet, right?
No, my feet are.
Well, originally he was able to move it because he was still on the surface, but he has sunk a little bit above his ankles now, is where that substance is holding, and it is pretty resistant to him.
That's
Or as
why.
far as, yeah.
What
That's
about
why I untied my shoes so I'll be able to slip out of them.
yeah? So if right now, if I ran for the sphere, if I jumped onto the sphere I'm 6 foot and change, so I would be just above it. Could I reach Amon by standing on the sphere and pull him towards me, or like jump on the sphere and then reach? Is he in arm's length? If he reached out and I reached out, I can pull.
So yeah, so if you get to where that is, you can kind of extend yourself. You would be essentially, so just for, I should have kind of given better reference for it. So the cylindrical object is roughly the size of a smartphone. It's not a large object to stand or have any kind of footholds for. It is an object that's, just kind of floating within this substance currently.
Just grab the thing and pass it.
All right. I can hold my breath and I can hold it for a very long time. So I'm going to go for the cylindrical object because I don't see any other way across this, and no one can make that 20-foot jump. I'm just thinking to myself, there's got to be a way across this thing. So I'm going to go for the cylindrical object. He went for the dead body. As you have a thing for bodies, don't you? I'm going to go for
I am a fan.
I'm going to go for the cylindrical object, jump, and try to literally jump and land where the cylindrical object is and try to grab it with, I know I'm going to sink a little bit by jumping onto basically nothing, but I'm hoping that I can grab it. How you said it's 6 feet down?
6 feet down from the surface of the goop.
I'm gonna have to try to grab it with my feet and pull it up and see if the cylindrical object will be of any use to us. And I really, really want to just run across your head, but I can't. You did help me out once, so I'm gonna go and jump for that. So that's what
Okay. So go ahead and do a strength check for me. Just make sure you can clear that distance.
That is only a 7 plus 1, 8.
Okay. So you take a few feet back, and you do manage to make it to where the cylindrical object is. You do kind of, based on your roll, you do kind of veer off a little bit course. You're not directly on top of it. You're just like a few inches to the right, which does put you closer in general arm's length to Amon. But when you land, you go, and based on your trajectory, you do sink almost up to your knees in this substance, and you feel that there is heavy resistance, almost like a thick, semi-frozen molasses kind of.
So, how much movement did I use?
So that would have been 10 feet back and then you would have used the rest of your movement to actually jump that distance to land.
Okay. From here, Amon's still on a person, right?
He's standing on that,
Yeah, but
that
my
body
press
that is sinking.
I guess it's not a reaction. I can't use a reaction right now, could I?
To do what?
I want to use my blood magic,
Uh,
my
let's see.
puppet.
Your puppet. So let me pull up your blood curse. So when a creature you see within 30 feet of you drops to 0 hit points, so this body was
It already
already
dropped.
yeah. So wouldn't be effective on this, unfortunately.
Damn it. Okay.
Plus, with your blood pack, it would have just attacked him anyways, because you give it one last final act of aggression.
Well, yeah, he could have aggressively pushed him out. He could have punched him in the butt right out of the damn thing. I would have been
You
payback.
just trying to find any way to get hit in the ass, huh?
Trust me, it's coming.
But yes, unfortunately, that one would not be able to expend your ability on.
Okay. How far are my feet from this object?
You would have sunk down to about your knees, which would have about 4 feet from it.
If I did move my foot forward, even though it's in the molasses and it's super slow, would I be able to move my foot forward?
Are you trying to move it straight down? Are you trying to move it sideways to get a better angle at it? How are you trying to?
Yeah, and just in general, if I could, because it's a couple inches from me, so do I have enough movement in this thing that I can actually, even though it's super slow, can I move my foot towards it or forward or anything? Because I know it's super slow, but
you can, but you would only progress maybe about an inch or two on this turn, because of how like thick this thing. Even though it's relatively right there, you're trying to push through, and your foot is just barely able to extend a little bit further down. And so from here, Ahmad, now that he's jumped and he's relatively within arm distance from you, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna go, hey buddy, nice to see you in the water.
As you're still slowly sinking.
I'm gonna jump to the next one. I gotta keep moving.
You're gonna attempt to jump out of your boots.
Yes.
To the next one. Okay. Okay. So go ahead and run. This one is going to be athletics, because you there's no way you can finesse out of your boots. So this one is going to be athletics, and this one is going to be at disadvantage.
God damn it. 8, 15.
So a 9 in total.
8. 8 in
Oh,
total.
that was with your plus.
I'm always gonna tell you just total.
Gotcha. Okay. So 8. So you go ahead and you go to spring yourself up, and even though you have unlaced your boots, your feet themselves are still within those shoes, and you start jumping. You get your feet out, but the pressure and the recoil back from this little kind of ends up, and you smack almost like a belly flop onto the surface about 3 feet from where you originally were.
Well, now we're in a predicament.
So he's 3 feet forward.
In the liquid, right?
In the liquid, like this, kind of like this, like belly flop, right?
Yeah, he's in there. He went face planted inside of it.
So I'm not. Oh, I'm face planted.
You hit a belly flop. You tried jumping forward, so that momentum would have.
So I'm trying to breathe out the side of my face.
Yep. Just like
until I really sink in. But I'm not moving, just to see if me not moving at all lets me go through, waterbending style.
So you're kind of, I get where you can, almost like quicksand, where they say spread out to kind of stop from sinking. This is not quicksand, so you do still sink, but only just a tidbit from where you landed. So you would have landed like this, and it's just kind of about here.
Hey, hurry the fuck up now! I'm kind of dying.
This is such one stupid move after another. Okay, so he's there. I'm almost thinking he might have to hold his breath for a second, but I kind of don't want him to drown on me because I may need him. So this thing's only inches from my foot, this ball. Can I, for an action, reach out and grab him? And since he's like this, can I reach his shirt from where I'm at? If I did like from a knee
So
lean over.
originally, where he was 3 feet within arm's reach of you. When he did his jump, he moved an additional 3 feet, so now he is 6 feet out. And even though you're 6 feet tall, you are currently sunk in about 2.5 feet into this substance, this goo. So you do not have reach enough to grab even his foot at this point.
Okay. How close is he to the next ball?
He is within arm's distance, so he is one. It is just a few feet down from where he is.
I'm gonna try to get it.
Oh,
I'm gonna take a deep breath in. And I'm gonna try.
And so he goes, and he goes.
great moves.
Oh, look, he's really stuck too.
Way to commit to the role.
Right? Look at this. There he goes. He's unstuck. So you you pushed away, but you really only got a little bit, a few centimeters in because you're trying to apply pressure in a spread eagle formation. So you don't really have leverage to push your way in.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring in my arms and my legs.
It's gonna be very slow.
That's fine. I'm still bringing it in.
So while
Stop moving, you fool, and let me figure this out. Can I do a perception check now that I'm in this stuff of anything of its nature? Can I perceive anything of its nature that might help me move faster?
you can investigate.
Technically, I'm helping the investigation because I'm in it.
You're looking at a different thing. You want to be able to see him actually trying to figure out a better way to move. You're like this, facing one way, and he's behind you. So in this case, you wouldn't be able to provide.
I'm mentally helping him.
In this case, you would not be able to provide assistance. So you are going to do an investigation check.
You are mentally showing me how these other three people died. Okay.
And actually, he already gets an advantage on investigation.
17 plus.
Because he's proficient.
Plus 4. 17 plus.
Roll again because you have advantage on investigation checks.
That one was a 9.
So we're going to go with the first one.
Yep. So an 11. Yep. 11. He's at 17 plus 4. Or I'm sorry, 21. Okay.
21.
So 21. So you notice that you're kind of looking through and trying to just do one movement. It's really tough, and you're not really getting much purchase. It's a slow way to get to that sphere itself. And as you're doing this, you're seeing that the items that are still are sinking a bit faster compared to Aman, who's currently trying to bring his body in. His even though his arms and legs are retracting in slower, he's no longer sinking down as fast. It seems as if movement is keeping him up a little bit easier.
Okay. So I sink. If I move, I drown. Okay. Shit, I should have just ran across this thing. Okay, so if that's the case, if I right now start just jutting and move, like wiggle my body really fast to try to get my foot to that sphere, just in case that's something that I need, can I like kind of like doggy shake my foot and kind of vibrate it really fast to try to get it to that sphere?
So you want to intentionally have a seizure to see how well it helps you.
Yes.
Yes.
Roll a straight d20. Let's see how this goes.
13 plus
okay.
Seizure advantage. No, 13.
So you kind of get that motion in mind, and you just start vibrating really fast, and you can feel that this entity, whatever solution this is separating from you a bit. and it's giving you a little bit extra space to move, not by much, but you're only able to vibrate for so long until you do get a little bit tired.
You gotta
Got
turn into the Flash.
Right.
Gotta
Yeah.
turn into the Flash.
I got no flash powers, but in my vibration, how did I get any closer to this sphere?
Yes. So you realize, so while doing that, since this substance was kind of separating itself from you as you vibrated, you did sink down a little bit, and you are within reach of the sphere, or the cylinder. I'm sorry.
I want to grab the cylinder.
Okay. So you're able to grab hold of it, and now that it's in your hand, there is a few seams and markings across for it, and on top, it looks like it can twist, but you would have to on your
Next.
pull it out basically from where
Right.
it's purchased in, but you have hold of it.
Got it. All right.
And so, Amon, what do you want to try and do now?
I could probably
Did
speak.
he yell that to me that vibrating helped?
Hey, move. The faster you move, it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. Hurry up and shake your head or something so you can breathe, you numbskull.
I can still breathe. It's not in my mouth yet. I can
Just
still breathe.
move fast.
All right. Where
Literal wiggle room.
where around me is the sphere?
The cylinder is about 1 foot in front of you and 2 feet down from where
All right. So I'm gonna grab my hand, bring in my hand, and start doing the flash zoom type shit into the water, trying to grab at it.
Okay, roll me a d20 to see how well your reverse flash vibration murder goes.
14.
14. Okay, so because you had already been on the move trying to bring your hands in, your hands are going to start from here. So you start vibrating this one hand, and you feel some of that substance just kind of again separate, and you start going through a little bit, and you get maybe about this far from the cylinder, and you're just like, here it is, and you're like, but it's right there. So within another attempt, you could probably reach it. That's a good point, because as you're vibrating that, your shoulder is still technically vibrating, so it did separate from your face a little bit, and then after you had stopped, you did sink a little bit more, and
That's why I'm trying to go.
Okay,
and
so
so just for point of order, verbal communication can be very difficult for you at this point, Amon.
No.
All right, Crib, let's see what you got.
the only good thing that's happening right now is his mouth can't talk.
What are you talking about? I can still talk.
Maybe if I just wait here a little bit longer, he'll shut up. I'm going to go ahead and vibrate, and now that I've got it in my hand, I'm just going to just vibrate it, just pull it back.
Cool. It pulls out easy now that the vibration is called the separation from the substance, and you do have this object in your hand.
Can I read any of the languages that it's written in? You said there's some engravings on it. Is
So
it
they're
languages
just
or
like
is it
some
questions?
simple. It's not so much as languages as like simple markings, but there is, to the way the markings are, it gives an indication that it could twist.
All right, I want to
Do the twist.
twist it and instinctively place it just beneath the surface. So like it's like twist and place, just in case this thing goes off. Hopefully the slime will stop from doing anything.
Okay.
I almost want to go like it's like and turn my head slightly.
Okay. So as you go ahead and untwist it, and you slam it back into the substance, both of you, based on your general hearing from your races, do hear this slight humming, whistling noise. It's kind of come to like, and as that happens, the substance around you, Crib, starts to give way, and you basically have your own little personal bubble where the substance is formed around you, but you are on the ground floor of this pool, and nothing is touching you with that open.
Okay, so from here I could yell, "Grab the sphere and twist it!"
No, you cannot. He is unable to hear you from there. So you have sunk to the bottom. It has
So
formed
there's just
around
so
you.
I'm in a cocoon. Yeah, he can't hear nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Have I moved? That's just my action, right?
That was just you should have now you have all of your free movement to do.
I want to walk underneath frozen Jello boy here and push the sphere into his hand and kind of indicate like look, twist, and push it up to him.
Okay, so you're gonna walk underneath him.
Yeah, I want to walk underneath him. And how big is the sphere around me?
So it's about, let's see.
I'm
It's about
saying height sphere. Or
it's about 4.5 feet, or almost 4 feet in diameter. So a total radius, we're looking about 8 feet in general.
Mhm.
So as you walk up underneath him, attempting to just kind of show and demonstrate, it actually gets right up to where he is because he had already sunk in a little bit, and you've actually created free space to where he drops into your bubble.
Got it.
And from that drop, you're gonna take 3 points of damage from that little drop.
God damn it.
As you land face first onto the ground below.
I'm sorry. I snickered out loud. Like he heard me laugh. I'm like little payback. Just feels
All right.
good. I bend over and I'll just look at him for a moment. I just watch him as his face gets planted on the ground. I just would be like, I'm tempted to kick him in the butt right now, but I'm just not going to hit a man while he's down. Get up, lazy.
Well, damn. I get up, I guess. You can't be that rude. You already made me smash my face in. I get the sphere or no?
Cylinder? Yeah, the cylinder would have come with it also. It is also.
All right, so I'm gonna open it. Just open it.
Now there's like a boob bubble underneath the surface.
I stick my finger into the top, so my tip of my finger could be the nip.
I just watch him be childish. I just kind of shake my head. Are you ready to get out of this or what?
Yeah, let's go. I'm ready to go.
Can we make our way and just kind of, is it a slope up or do we have to climb up?
You got to climb up, but I mean, with the items on you now and being able to move freely, it's just if you just jumped up, grab the ledge, pull yourself up. You guys are easy from there. So from here, is you going to keep the devices on you, or are we going to toss them back in?
No, I'm gonna keep it. I feel like I'm gonna need it for some reason.
Yeah, I'll hold on to mine too.
Okay.
Is there anybody else behind us? Are we the last team?
I mean, as far as you know, as of right now, there was not another team behind you, but you do not know if you're the last team of the day. But the finish line is within view. You got 10 feet to cross that line, and you guys have successfully accomplished.
I turn back to him and I go, man, look at this water and everything that we went through. And as soon as he turns around, I take off for the finish line to finish first to rub it in his face.
I watch as the fiend crosses over and I look at him and I kind of smile for a second like, all right, touche. And I just go ahead and jog up behind him. And as he's basking or whatever, I walk past him and I just look at him and I just kind of give him an acknowledgement like all right, not bad.
Oh, did this mean we become friends?
I wouldn't take it that far.
Oh, we're friends.
So as you guys are there kind of in your little moment of victory, you've crossed the finish line, the original dwarf that gave you your good luck kind of walked up to you and goes, "Boy, lads, I didn't quite think you had it in you. Especially in the beginning there. We went for not one dead, but two. But regardless, you've made it. Good job. Hopefully you are chosen for a house later." And he kind of points up to where the woman that you watched give the speech earlier, and in a kind of like a viewing box area underneath where she's sitting, there are 6 individuals all sitting in tall chairs with a different banner across each one. It says, "You did well enough. One of the houses will choose you. For now, go get some rest, get your gear, put those in the bin over there." And he gestures to the cylinder. She goes, "Put those in the bin. We have more games coming up. We're going to need them."
No, this is my trophy for getting through it.
There's no trophy.
Ugh. I throw it in the bin.
I almost want to use my sleight of hand and keep it, but I just reluctantly do the same thing. Just drop it.
Hey, I kind of feel like I've seen this in the movie somewhere. Where a kid with glasses and a motherfucking mark on his forehead had to wait for somebody to choose him too.
What
Harry
are
Potter
you
didn't
talking
get
about?
chosen. It was that sorted it. But
What are you talking about?
movies.
Never mind. I had weird dreams.
Revelations. So you guys are ushered back to the locker room itself, and you do see, like, as you guys are wrapping up and exiting the Coliseum, the cheers are going off. You do see the woman that gave you the speech earlier. She is kind of watching you, and she does have a pad that she's keeping notes on as well. You guys make it back to your lockers that hold your items there, and you see Todd and Jason's lockers have already been emptied out, and they are clear. From
I stand there for a second, just bow my head.
Okay.
You're gonna be missed.
I walk right past it and go to my locker.
So you guys are able to shower off. You're able to get some good food in your bellies, and they go ahead and escort you to essentially what is a holding chamber with a sitting area. And a few of them are kind of, there's a few other groups of people in there as well, and each of you are one by one kind of pulled away. And so Amon, you are pulled in before Karib, and by an elven woman. And she says, "Follow me, dear," as she begins to walk off down a corridor.
All right, I'll follow her to wherever she won't take me, young lady.
Now she brings you to this chamber where the same six chairs you saw are in a semicircle facing the entrance in this little podium where you will be standing. Two things are going to happen. The first thing is one of the individuals, a large Goliath, tattoos, furs, and leather shown about him, a big heavy axe that's by his side next to his chair, and the banner behind him shows a black obsidian web, almost like a spider web, along his banner. And as you come in and approach the bench, you will now receive your final test. First, place your hand upon that orb. Once that is complete, you will have your rating and be assorted into a house.
Now, is this thing gonna bite me?
After you answer with what you had said, he does not reply, but instead just gives you a very stern stare.
All right, I got one question, and then I'll do what you want. I got no problem doing it. Now, my buddy that's in the weight room, can I be placed in the same covenant or whatever you want to call it with him? I kind of feel like I'm good for his self-esteem.
So at this point, another individual, which is a human male, heavy scruff, and behind him is a red, almost blood-stained banner with some silver trimmings of just kind of like a sort of like, let's say, a moon, because I can't think of the word right now. A crescent moon. There we go. Jeez. So a blood-stained banner with a silver crescent moon on it, and he speaks up. Says, "We won't guarantee anything like that. I don't care if your buddy is here taking the same test as you. This isn't about keeping friendships together.
It's
Wherever you get sorted is where you get sorted, and you'll deal with it."
now, I don't mean to sound a little rude, but it's gonna come off as rude. Why are you so grumpy?
And you see one of the other ones in the chair, and this one has a a silver banner. Or I'm sorry, it's a gray banner with a deep violet a thorn vine pattern going across it. And this woman speaks up, and her eyes flicker. And you're relatively used to this flicker. It's thaumaturgy, just like how you had used before. And some of the candles and torches around you kind of flicker a little bit more intensely. And she speaks up. "If you're not interested in partaking any further, then be on your way. Either finish this final
I
test
didn't
or
say
get."
I wasn't. And I put my hand on the banner. I put
Okay.
my hand wherever they want it.
So it was like this this iron, this beaten iron orb is what they wanted to go and touch on. And as you grab onto it, you feel this kind of warmth that radiates through your body. It doesn't hurt. It just kind of gives you this sense of it's a little bit warmer than being comfortable. It is discomforting. Um, and in front of you, you kind of see this apparition appear,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there it just dissipates. Nothing really happens from there. So they each kind of give a general nod, and then they proceed. I need you to go ahead and roll a d6 for me, please.
D6. Where you at? Where you at? Okay. I got it. It's a 6.
It's a 6.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. And so the Goliath picks up back up again. Appreciate it. Now get out. We'll call you back whenever a decision's been made.
You got it, buddy.
And it's at this point, Karib, where you see the elven woman that had brought him on outside from where you were at come back with him as well. And she gestures for you to come now.
As I'm passing him on, I look at him with a little bit of wonder. I give him a little nod, again acknowledging that okay, we're both here. But I don't say anything because I understand that this is a important moment. But brace myself in case he does say something because I know it probably will come.
I don't say nothing. I just walk past him.
Okay.
I'm surprised.
Which may or may not give you a good or bad feeling because normally he's been pretty vocal.
Yeah,
but
I'm a little surprised, and I'm a little if this what in the world could have shut him up? So.
In my head, I'm like, do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do.
So the elven woman leads you down the same corridor that she had taken him on and says, "Please make your way inside." When you enter, it's the same pedestal, a beaten iron sphere that is on a smaller pedestal next to it, and then the 6 chairs with the banners in a semicircle facing the podium.
Can I does my Arcania or history give me any insight into what those 6 banners are?
So you can definitely absolutely roll a history check for me.
That sucked. 5 + 2, 7.
So 7. Okay. So growing up in Persona, they didn't really deal much with. They had trade, but they didn't really care much for providing information and knowledge and teaching on some of the outside cities, especially one like this, which is completely opposite of your theocratic society that you're used to. This one was built by mercenaries for mercenaries, and it developed into its own city with its own source of trade and economy. So you have caught glimpses of the symbols, whether it be on parchments or any type of packages coming in and out. Maybe once or twice you may have seen an individual at your home city with one of these emblems, but you've never actually gained any information what any of them are, what they represent, or anything that might go in tandem with that.
Okay. So have they? I'm sorry, they spoke to me already, right? They told me my instructions.
They have not. The female ushered you in. Now, when you walk in, the individual to the left in one of the left chairs, it is almost a sea foam into like this burnt umber orange banner, and it has a very very vibrant blue, almost azure sun on it. And the individual sitting there is a bugbear, which for um, just kind of conceptualization, so you know what that is. That rate, think of Chewbacca. This is what a bugbear is going to look like for the most part, with some variations. So this entity speaks up, a little bit gruffer. Place your hand on the orb and await your sorting.
I look at him, size him up, and I'm tired. I'm pissed.
Oh, he a big boy.
He's a big boy.
He a big fuzzy boy.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Trust me, I'm not sizing him up in the sense of like fighting him. I'm just sizing him up in the sense of like authority and power. Um, I look at the other ones, and I want to announce myself and ask a question. I look
Proceed.
at all of them and say, "I'm Carib from Persona. Might I ask your names, O lords?"
And there is an abrupt laughter from the one with the crimson banner that has the silver crescent moon on it, and he is dying laughing. He goes, "We fucking know who you are. You submitted an application. We know you're Carib. We told them to bring you. As far as for us, we are nowhere near lords by any means. We are simply the head of some of the bounty hunter houses. As time comes, you'll have the privilege and honor of getting to know some of us. But as for now, you have instructions. As humorous as that remark was, please continue on."
And these people are very different from the people I was raised with. I'm a little, my ego's bruised a little bit. I tried to give them a little respect, but I'm like, okay, the respect isn't something that they give around here. Understood. Um, I've been through these kind of tests before. I get a little bit of a flashback from another time that I had to touch something, and I get angry again. This time I'm dressed and armored.
I'm just laughing at Jay's face. He said the last time I touched something, he goes,
You're in another room. Shut up.
Where did we go with this?
"Listen, Jay, consent is important, okay?"
Hey, Bill, I guess.
Context. Um, but I grin and bear it. This time I'm a little bit better about clearing my head. So I take a moment, I take a deep breath. I clear my head. I forget about what just happened. I'm here now. This was my goal. I'm in front of them. I have more to do. This is just one other trial in front of me. So I walk up to the orb and I place both hands on it. And this time, unlike before, I take a deep breath and really do clear my mind.
Oh, you've been here before?
So,
No, I've had
an
encounters.
experience.
I've had an
Information,
experience. And if someone would have checked out the first episode,
yeah.
my session 0,
I watched the first minute and a half. I got there.
So, unlike the first time where you were nervous, anxious, and you had that pressuring feel, there still is a sense of pressure in the air, but it's more of just expecting to see what's going to happen. So as you grasp this beaten iron sphere, you can feel the divots in it, and the same thing, you get a feeling of warmth that travels to your body. It is a little discomforting because it's warmer than what you're expecting, but it doesn't hurt. And in front of you, in operation, as far as that dark smoke that you remember, turning into an almost an ethereal liquid before showing glimpses of red through it, and you hear one of the bannermen going, "Interesting." And they say, the main one, the bugbear that spoke up originally, goes, "Thank you for your time. Please be seated." And the elven woman comes back in and directs you back into the sitting chamber.
Okay.
And on your way back, please roll a d6 for me.
2.
2. Okay. All right. So Amon, you watch as the elven woman brings Karib back into the sitting room, and takes her leave as he makes his way back over to you guys, or back over to you. And it's just a few moments later as everyone is ushered out into a great hall, and there you see again the 6 chairs, but now including a seventh larger chair in the middle with a unification banner. It has a representation of each symbol inside of it: a web, a sun, a moon, a thorn, and a skull. And so they're all woven together to make one intricate pattern in all their colors. And sitting in that chair is the original woman that gave the speech throughout the day. And so she speaks up and says, "This culling day was a little bit different than before, but interesting nonetheless. Some people broke some records today. Others broke records that had never been set." And she kind of eyes Amon a little bit as having the first two kill in the party. As silly as some of these tests may have been, they were to test your aptitude as far as how well you handled the pressure, how well you can think outside of the box in accomplishing a goal, and just your general physical prowess. Now, some of you may have ascertained the final test was the meeting of the bannermen, the heads of the each guild house, and just generally taking a look at your magic. Some of you witnessed a small puff of smoke before dissipating into nothing. You have no magic. That's fine. We didn't expect you to, but we always like to know because some have latent magic abilities. Others we now have written down and corresponded. Seems we have some blood hunters, some general sorcerers, some wizards, and a few other of unsavourable kind as well, but useful nonetheless. Finally, I will go and address each of you standing here have completed each test and are now going to be sorted into your own house to begin your orientation and begin your own bounties and career as a bounty hunter in this city. So she's going through and a few people go ahead and are you see one minotaur, you see another lizard folk and a few humans as they are sorted over to House Blackweb, and that's the one that had the Goliath with the obsidian web banner. A few elves and a orc are sorted into the House of Azure Sun. That is the blue sun banner with the multicolor background. And then they call participants of House Tevel Noctis, which is the bloodstained banner with the silver crescent sun or moon on it. I'm sorry. And both Karib and Aman, whose names were called and sorted into House Tevel Noctis, which had the human with the very scruffy beard that laughed at your comment, Crib, as well as interjected in your moment of questioning Amon. But you have both been sorted into that house. And from there, that's where we're going to go and end this session.
Damn it. Can I look at a mom one more time and just kind of be like, son of what the Oh, that was fun.
It was fun watching you guys kill people. I thought it was just great.
I kind of was like, the moment you guys discovered it was Jason Todd, I was like, Jason Todd, he's gonna die. They're not gonna make this.
Hopefully he dies and comes back.
No. There's a half of Jason. You're gonna get Franken Todd. It'll be Jod or Tayson. It'll be Tayson.
If you ever find a Lazarus pit, maybe you can, bring them back this way. Get a body
Why
part.
did you want the arm?
Why did you want the arm?
Because I was gonna bring it back to him and go, look, buddy, we can reattach it. Let's go. Be nice.
And I was laughing because I knew that those two were gonna die. I didn't know when and I didn't know how. However, I wanted to make sure that Damian had bodies to practice his magic on that he didn't take advantage of.
I couldn't take advantage of it. One wasn't when he lost his arm, he wasn't dead. And then when the other one got just killed,
he was skewered onto the.
it wasn't my turn, and it was still his turn, and he decided to run and grab the body off of it, losing the other body. I'm like, what am I gonna do with a half of a body? I'm like,
you could have had half a body running around.
And
but I'm like, this guy.
The biggest opportunity, Jay. I was like, okay, he knows he has a cantrip. This is perfect. So I designed the very last obstacle for Jay. I was like, he has thaumaturgy.
Oh, I didn't even think of it.
I know you didn't because you were like, I'm gonna do thaumaturgy and create a tremor. I was like, my man, He knows he has a spell and he knows that he can do this. Is perfect. This last set should be easy.
I didn't even put two and two
This
together.
is
To tell
why
you the
I
truth.
love
he used
the bullshit.
he used it to vibrate on the girl. I was like, the girl standing like bzzz, like a pager went off in her dress. Bzzz, bzzz,
That's it. Listen,
phone's
she
on
loved
vibrate.
it. She loved it.
And
She
Damon,
loved it.
I'm low key so happy you rolled low on that history check because I did not have any background of any of these things. I told you I planned a little, not extensively. Damn it!
I know. Well, I was
Now
like,
I know I need to get shit in order.
well, damn. Especially look. I'm looking at my chart. Right, my chart's like, uh, deception -1, insight 0, intimidation -1, performance -1, persuasion -1. I'm like, look, I got history, I got arcana.
That was great. You're like, I'm gonna roll everything I'm bad at.
Don't worry. Deception +3. Insight +3. Investigation +1. Medicine +3. Perception +5.
Yeah, I mean, you got some pretty good stats.
I got things
one
for you
thing-
that you don't got. I got. Don't worry about it.
The one thing that was fucking gold though was Jay's like, I'm gonna hit the bitch, and then he's like, I do 0 damage.
But I fucked up on that because if I would have finessed it, I could have done my sneak attack, which would have added 1d6 of damage.
That's not how sneak attack works.
Yes, you can finesse it or use a melee weapon.
So the way sneak attack is gonna work is anytime you have advantage, you are gonna get.
You don't need advantage. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 1d6 of damage to one creature you hit with an attack with finesse or a ranged weapon. If you have advantage on the attack roll, you don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet.
5 feet.
You never stated that the other people were more than 5 feet away.
The base itself was 10 feet in diameter, which
You
gives
didn't
you
state
20 feet
that.
past.
You
Yes.
didn't state that.
You
Yeah,
dumb it. But either way, you wouldn't, because you didn't have a finesse or melee weapon. You didn't have advantage. You were not.
I can do it. Doesn't need a melee weapon. It's finesse or a ranged weapon.
Finesse or range. So a finesse weapon is going to be something like a rapier.
It doesn't state that. It just says finesse.
It says finesse or
or
range
a ranged weapon.
So
You
means
can have
would need
one
a
or
finesse
the
weapon.
other.
Yes,
Right,
you
but
need
you
a
can't-
finesse
you-
weapon.
there's no
You
such
can't
thing as a
say I'm gonna
finesse
finesse slap the bitch.
What you mean? That's a backhand.
That's a pimp slap. That ain't a finesse.
I
That's a
promise you.
backhand.
I tried to pimp slap. It didn't work out so good.
So yeah, you
That
can.
being said,
What-
I'm gonna be honest. Like, full disclosure here, I was gonna come in a little bit more harder than I was at the beginning, but this dude came in so happy. He just immediately made me go.
He
"No."
came in so out of left field with this like rickety ass.
I
country
told
Ricky
you.
Bobby.
I told you what I was gonna do.
We'll see how long this lasts because you already killed 2 people.
Not on purpose. I literally was trying to help them.
The funny part was me trying not to laugh as he's stumbling around with body parts trying to help it's okay, buddy, we'll get through this together.
Does anyone have a band-aid?
The crazy thing is, I was trying to help them. I was legit not trying to kill anybody. I was trying to be helpful.
And then Tweedledee goes running back for Tweedledum, and he's like, "I'll save
Oh
you."
yeah, that was on his own.
It's
That was on
just-
his own accord. I had nothing to do with that one.
But then you try to get his body, and I was like,
Yeah, I
We
don't.
were gonna bury him. We were gonna bury him. We were gonna have a nice burial.
Hold on. You realize, Jay, this was a test, which means at the end, after it was done, someone would have came and cleaned that shit up without the danger.
It was in the moment. I had to make sure my buddy was all right. I told you I was gonna be a good guy through and through. I was being a good guy.
So far, no one thinks you're a good guy for killing 2 people.
It wasn't on purpose. First of all, I killed one. I can be charged with one of them. The other one, he did it to himself.
Here's the funny thing: he didn't actually kill anybody.
It simply looks like he did.
Yeah, it simply looks like he took someone through the meat grinder.
From the right wrong angles, it looks like he
Yeah.
massacred people
Yeah.
and then wanted to just mess with the body just
Yeah.
because he's demonic
Yeah,
and
like
demented.
Like,
But you can't charge me for any of their deaths. I literally tried to save him.
Oh,
yeah,
no one's gonna
no.
charge you because in these games people die. That's why she gave you guys the
Oh,
warning.
I don't.
Yeah,
That's on
but
him.
imagine the person in the stands way over there going, did he just grab the body and football carry him so that he could get his head cut off? Like, it's
Maybe.
not like
And
they can hear your
there's like another guy there like, yeah, it's a new tactic. He's using him as a meat shield. It's very smart.
The conversations are going on. I swear. I'm glad though that my nature, like I'm like, how am I going to use things like nature?
Before I forget, so what we're gonna do before the next session, since we're here now, so what we'll do first and foremost, we will wrap up this. I'm gonna do a quick closing, and then um, we'll go through and we're gonna level up your guys' characters to level 3.
Okay.
Damn, 2 levels off that one.
Yeah, and you'll find out why. Then
One level for each body you killed.
Again, I killed no one.
All right. So first of all, do I heal myself? Go like, let me put
You will. So you click and click on long rest. It's at the top of
Hey,
the.
John, you have to unlock this so I'll be able to mess with it.
Well, you're gonna have to access it through the campaign link. I just sent you your. It's not locked. It's just the general code. If anything, I'll level it up for you, and we can go through that. But you're gonna have to find a way to access it through the campaign link. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to mess it too much. So that is going to be the end of our session here. Thank everyone for tuning in and hope you did enjoy. There's going to be much more mayhem, chaos, and comedy coming up with this adventure. So definitely stay tuned. We definitely check out again. If you haven't seen the session 0 for Damian, check that out. We did not get to do a session 0 for Jay, but it is what it is. So keep your eyes open. If you did like, don't forget to, or if you did enjoy this, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out.
Agree?
it.
Let's go.